Welcome, everyone, to the testing room, where three of the gaming industry's best video game consultants who have ever... What? Why are you shaking your head?
It's
He's
just so,
dancing.
you're just so angry.
Well, look,
I know,
man.
I know.
So,
Gotta bring it up.
for those of... I'm sure people have...
Probably happened.
we've said, I'm a huge soccer fan. I have season tickets to Atlanta United. I have Atlanta United behind me. They're playing Miami, who has Messi. And it's 22 minutes in, so half of the first half, 1/4 of the game, and Messi has 2 goals. This is stupid. It shouldn't even be a thing. Nobody should subsidize this. Send him back. I'll send him back where I came from. And I didn't mean it in a racist way. I meant it more of like a go play soccer or other.
White men should not say that on anything recorded.
Yeah,
That's not what I meant. You know what I meant.
Yeah, cancel him on X right now.
I'm so
Yeah.
angry. Go back to Barcelona where you were supposed to go. Anyway, welcome to the testing room, where 3 of the best video game consultants who have never consulted on a video game bring you new topics each and every week. I'm Alex. It's not even worth it today.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm
that
Christian, aka not a salty Atlanta United fan.
I am Preston, aka Funkadelic Jedi. I don't have anything special.
You'll know if he scores 3 because I'll probably just throw my remote control through the TV.
Yeah, you're right.
Put
Yeah.
up a week ago, and I'll be very irritated. Also, I know you guys can't really see the new Office, but like, got comics up behind me
I know,
now.
I was gonna mention
so
that,
Jake is
yeah.
watching.
Sick background
Jake is
now.
watching. I have a Clayton Crane, Mysterio, and black suited Spider-Man. We got some Black Cat by Art Germ, and we got some Catwoman by Art
Love that
Germ.
Art
We
Germ
have a
one,
Greg
yeah.
Horn, Venomized Alien cover, right? So we did Alien.
That one's
And
cool.
then up here you can't. These are hard because of the lights, but we have these are heavy metal, or I'm sorry, Dark Knights metal. So the original series. We have Devastator, which is like the Wonder Woman one. We have the Drowned here, which is the Aquaman one. We have the one here that is like Green Lantern. And then what's the other one that I have? Oh,
The man
Yes.
laughs.
no, because the only 2 I don't have graded and autographed are The Man Who Laughs and The Red Death, because one, it's impossible to get Jason Fabok anywhere anymore, and I didn't have it with me when he signed, but also my Red Death is dented. So the other one, which was like the Superman, right? So it's kind of the Doomsday looking Batman there. And then up here, we have The Flash Year 1, autographed by Josh Williamson, who also drew a little Flash on it. And then I have the picture that Christian got me for my birthday
Yeah.
of Shepard. And I got the one I bought to go with it of Tali. So there we go. Just so everybody at home knows what we got rocking back here, since you can't see it. Not that you care, but those are my comics. We have more in the closet, but I have the closet shut because it's dirty.
That's fair. That's why mine shut too.
Yeah, dude, your office is coming together. It looks
It
good.
is?
I actually think it's done. So, like, we have the
Control
TV,
pad.
we have the entertainment center. You can only see the corner of the entertainment center, but it's there. All the consoles are there. I need that. So I have the Atlanta United jersey, game-worn jersey, right, Christian, from the Chicago game where we came back and won that in the last
Yeah.
couple minutes. That needs to get framed. When it does, it'll hang here on the wall beside me. And then above or below the TV, we'll have our Savvy's Workshop Disney lightsabers. I bought mounts for them, and they come with like big emblems for like I have the High Republic and Allie has a different one, but we're gonna mount those up.
I'm gonna
That's the
spend
only.
so much
Those are the only
fucking
3
money
things
when I
I'm
go there.
missing. I know. Those are the only 3 things I'm missing. So once the lightsabers are there and the jersey's here, we're done. I don't know what I'll put there, but that's where the door opens. So
Do you,
I'll
do
figure
you-
out something. But
Do you ever wonder when bad things happen to the soccer team that you like, that there was some sort of deep magic spell that I put out into the universe the day that you taunted me, and
You wouldn't
now
do
that.
you and now
That's
you
not
getting
fair though,
cooked
because we've
right
taunted
now.
each other so many times
Christian,
over so
you
many
are way
things.
too superstitious. You will never do your own little magic.
Yeah.
You won't do it. You'll be too
I know,
afraid
that's
of
true.
it
I
coming
would
back
not.
on you.
Yeah, like no, I'm good. I won't mess with that.
I'm not going to risk it today.
The
Yeah.
juju. You don't want the bad juju.
No, he
Also,
doesn't.
I'm wearing a tank top.
Yeah,
I
we
didn't
get to see
mean
those
be wearing a
sexy
tank-
tabs,
I didn't
man.
mean to be. Christian and I.
Dude, sun's
were-
out, guns out, man.
So before we get to our week, I promise this will be the last aside before we get to it. So we had a dog trainer come over to the house today to work with the pups, because our pups we're trying to make sure everybody gets along, and we did some good stuff. But he's supposed to be here at 4:30. He comes at 4, no big deal. But the problem is, Christian and I are running variant dungeons in Final Fantasy XIV, and these variant dungeons are not short. So we were in the middle of a variant dungeon that could be like 30 minutes. We're trying to beat it as quick as possible, and we beat it. Literally, as soon as we beat it, I get the notification for the doorbell. So I didn't anticipate wearing a tank top for that dude, but I immediately had to go down there with the dog and then interact with him for 2 hours. And then I was running late to make dinner and come up here with you guys, so unfortunately I didn't change. Hence the reason I'm stuck in the tank top. Blame Christian and Final Fantasy XIV.
I don't think it gets to be my fault. See, you're asking for more deep magic spells. I hope they score another. Messi scores another goal on you.
Don't say that. I hope Messi ruptures his Achilles.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody's got to stop him, and if it's not God, I don't know who is. So, anyway, Preston, what you got? What's the corner? What's going on?
I heard that there might be something else, not from me, but a little bit from me is that, just going to remind Alex that we do still need a new outro, and also I will not be putting that outro on there anymore because we do not have a Twitter anymore because it's not called Twitter anymore.
Yeah.
I meant to talk to you about that while we were on, Christian, on Discord, because I think Preston already gotten off. I'm sure you heard about it, right? We've all heard about the news that...
Yeah. I already made a joke earlier in this podcast about it.
Yeah.
Did you? What'd you say?
I said something about Xing something. I don't know.
It must have been before I got on.
No, you were. It was while we were recording, like maybe like 5 minutes ago. It was such a nothing thing that I don't even remember what I said. I just said something about it being called X now.
Yeah.
The best two things I've seen on it is the one person said that Twitter has been replaced with an app logo that looks like a gentleman's club that traffics women.
True.
I was like, that tracks. True.
Yep.
And then somebody said, so you used to tweet, but Elon is like, you now X people.
You can get
right?
X'd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get X'd. But what's a retweet?
An X.
Re-X'd?
It re-X'd?
No,
is it
it's just
double
Xing.
X? If somebody retweets a retweet,
It's all
X?
just Xing.
It is Vin Diesel triple X when you retweet.
And you might be
I'm
saying to
sorry.
yourself, there's no way that you can just be Xing because that would mean that there was no thought put into this. And what I would say to you is, yes.
I'm sorry if this offends anybody that listens to our podcast. I don't know the demographic and the things that people care about listening to this podcast. I hope you align with a lot of what we say. But let me just say, Elon Musk is a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
And if anybody thought he was smart because he has
Money?
presented ideas which he has generally acquired from other people, and you think he is brilliant because of that, you've been hoodwinked.
Yep.
Bamboozled.
And I'm sorry. He's the worst.
And you know what's funny is
Preston, I'll do it tomorrow, I promise. Especially
okay.
because it's changed.
there'll be there's gonna be two
No,
things.
it's done. It's unacceptable. I'll do
Okay,
it.
sure.
We'll see.
There'll be Sassy Preston never fails.
Just fucking livening it up.
So it's two things. One, my favorite thing about Twitter being X now is one, the announcement, which is that they were like, hey, remember that time that PayPal was almost called X? Yeah, anyways, that's what we call Twitter now. And it's like absolutely genius.
Zero effort whatsoever.
What a shitty... Like, Elon is the most, like... Remember when the internet was still in its infancy and we... Like, iFunny was a thing? Remember, like, we would see all... Like, if you go back to when we were kids, all the shitty memes that we used to make back then are not funny, but we thought they were fucking hilarious then because it was just like, oh my god, it's humor on the internet and nobody understands it but us, the people on the internet. And like he still, I think, is like locked in the like I has cheeseburger phase of him, like, and his brain just won't let him out, and so he just is like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna make stupid, like. But then, so then the other part is I loved seeing people when this change happened. Is everybody has been figuring out what their Kingdom Hearts villain name is going to be because of all of the X's that show up in that fucking series. And so people have been doing the math and like figuring out whatever the fuck their name would be based on what their nobody is or some shit. So I've been loving to see that. I also think it will be really fun to see the backpedaling of when Elon bought Twitter. and all of his little fucking defender dummies were like, no, you guys just don't get it. He's gonna make it better than it's ever been. And you guys will just be so sad to watch when Twitter becomes the biggest thing ever. And it's like, because like they just keep fucking hand over fist losing users, and it's gonna be so funny to watch them go, this was his plan all along, is to just be the fucking crazy Elon where he gets to come in and just blow up your favorite social media platform because for the lulz, you know what I mean?
But it's
these people will pretend like
who's
that
he
was his
blowing it up
idea
for?
the whole
Because
fucking
the only
time.
people that use it are the people that follow him, and he's blowing it up for you. Like, I'm so confused.
But he's
on
not even. But that's the
who's
thing.
Winning
Is
in
that
this.
it's gonna be amazing to watch these people believe that that was his plan all along, knowing full well that there is an internet paper trail of them saying that this was not his idea in the beginning, and that he was absolutely going to make it the best place on ever and a bastion of free speech. The phrase that they don't know the meaning of, by the way, and. Man, it's been fun to watch. And also, as somebody who's deleted basically all social media outside of Instagram Reels, it's been really fun to watch all of this blow
Yeah,
up.
it is.
I also love, like, so I love the other side of it. I don't like Mark Zuckerberg, and I don't like Meta and Facebook, but I do appreciate Meta instantly growing Threads by tying Threads to Instagram, and you can't delete one right now without deleting the other, and so on. And like, I love that, but I love the idea that Elon's now like, I'm going to sue you because of at the end of the day, it's because you have a competing product, and I don't like capitalism, baby,
Yeah.
which is ironic. But it's like, you hired our devs, you stole our IP, whatever, which I don't believe they did. But I don't think it should go to court. I think somebody should force, when he jokingly challenged him to a fight, I think he should be forced to go through with it.
Yeah,
like,
you're never going to be able to beat a lizard robot.
Because Zuckerberg is a robot, but Zuckerberg actually does train like MMA, and I'm not going to say like Zuckerberg knows how to fight, because it would actually be funnier if he didn't. But I think you should be forced to go through with the fight before
Imagine being
you are
able
allowed
to have a
sue.
clip. Imagine being able to have a clip that we could watch for the rest of eternity of Elon Musk getting put in an arm bar and his arm getting ripped out of his socket. I'm just saying, that would be one of those videos that I think I would get on like a little tiny LCD monitor, and I would put somewhere, and then just put it like on like a Raspberry Pi and just have it loop.
Yeah,
Because
24/7.
it's truly a win-win for us. Like, nobody would come out of that looking good. Whether you won or lost, you would look ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
As far as a billionaire fighting.
Although,
But
if
I
Zuckerberg
wouldn't care
wins,
who
he could
I wouldn't
look
care who
more
lost
like a
either.
human.
So like, what is it?
I said if Zuckerberg wins, he could look more like a human, and that could be a
True.
win for him.
True, but like, I wouldn't care who won or lost. So it's really like a win-win.
Yeah.
For literally humanity, and just a lose for those two would be hilarious.
Yeah, it would be. It'd be good.
Yeah. And the loser gets shot into space. That's the outcome. Like you.
And the
everyone's
twist
gonna
is
think
that
you
the
guys are
winner
shit.
also
planned on
gets
it,
shot
yeah.
right after.
Yeah. So anyway.
Anyway,
Yes, Preston. I'll record a new outro tomorrow.
whenever you have time, sugar.
Nope, I'll do it tomorrow. We'll get it done.
Anything else for comment corner?
Yeah, I had a question. I didn't know if you had anything else.
Nope.
So I had a fun little question I saw the other day that made me think, and I was like, I'm going to ask the guys this. And essentially, the question is, if you could go back in time and either stop a game from being canceled, or you could just kind of like change the outcome of a game. So maybe it was a game, I'll use Final Fantasy 15 as an example. It's not my answer, but you know how 15 like changes in the last like hour of the game.
Well, it used to be versus 13. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you go back in time and change that game, what game would it be? So like, I'll say that, I'll start us off. So like, if I could go back in time and stop a game from being canceled, I would love to go back and play, there was a game being worked on, Gotham by Gaslight, which if anybody's familiar with that, it's essentially a Batman story that takes place in Jack the Ripper's like industrialized or industrial age London. It's really cool. Everybody wears like the trench coats and the top hats, and it's very like noir, and Gotham by Gaslight. It's really cool, and there was a game being made for that before they ever did the anime for it. And I just think that would be a really fun concept. It would be a mix at the time. It would be like the highs of Arkham Asylum, with like a little bit of the Assassin's Creed-y, like London time period. So what was that game where they're the brother and the sister? But either way,
You would know.
I would-
Unity?
no, Unity was in France.
Then I don't know.
Maybe Brotherhood. I don't know. Either way,
It's not Brotherhood, that's for sure.
yeah, but I would love to see like Gotham by Gaslight. I think that would be a fun game. It'd be a little different than the other Arkham games. Fun little twist. It'd be cool to see like Batman's gadgets in that pre-industrial era. All the bad guys, like Catwoman is in it, and clearly she's Catwoman. But, like it's a distinctly different suit, right? And everybody else, like Cobblepot, if I'm not mistaken, was still a crime boss, but more of like a street gang crime leader and stuff for essentially the Peaky Blinders, like just cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
That would be mine.
Little turns.
What about you guys?
You got one, Christian?
You want to go, Preston? Or you want me to go?
Oh, I got one. Little game called Star Wars 1313. We got a nice little trailer for it.
I
No,
I
knew-
knew it, yeah.
Yeah.
it's always sitting there like this like little pit in my heart, like just like there's like they took that from me. Like they gave me a trailer, they showed me the trailer, and they said, "Nah, George Lucas wanted to be Boba Fett," and then LucasArts went under, so fuck you. So we just decided not to do it. But it was gonna be great. It was gonna be like you were playing a what do you call it, scoundrel kind of guy, like maybe even a bounty hunter a little bit, but a swashbuckler, if you will, in the Star Wars universe. And it was going to be a lot like the Uncharted, where they had a bunch of like cinematic kind of scenes you would go through with button presses and things like that, but also a lot of really fun third-person ranged combat with some hand-to-hand combat as well in there. And I think that'd be really cool. As long as you didn't turn into a Jedi, I think that would have been a really cool thing to kind of stick to. And I just really like it when Star Wars does go outside of the Jedi stuff. Jedi stuff is great, but when you do like just the average person in Star Wars and not all these glorified wizards, it's a lot of fun.
So, I have a question for you. Before that, I agree. 1313 footage at the time looked amazing.
Sure.
And I think there was so much more than they showed us at like some of those tech previews that I feel like the game was really far along.
It was.
But the question was going to be, do you think you're going to get oversaturated and bored with that outside of the realm Star Wars characters now with the new... It's Ubisoft, right? Or is it EA? Who's doing the new game, Scoundrels or whatever? Like,
yeah, it's Outlaws. So they actually
but
did
we're going to see... Yeah.
Star Wars Outlaws. They did actually give a developer update on that and kind of showed a whole lot more of what you'll be doing and like the hub worlds. And it's like think of that hub world in Jedi Survivor and like just bigger worlds, more open areas to like you're riding on swoop bikes between places, going back and forth. I'm super interested in that game. I'm like super stoked. It's sad.
But do you think if we see more of
fine.
that, if we see more of that, right? So if they do another game that's just not Jedi and so on, do you think you're going to get like bored of those?
As long as they're good,
No.
Preston will
Here
nom
for
nom
everyone.
nom 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 eat it all up. I'll take what I can get.
Nom nom nom.
All is
nom,
good.
nom.
Yeah, Christian, what you got?
So I have two answers.
Okay.
One is I wish I would have been able to play the multiplayer version of Shadow of Colossus that they were building.
That'd have been fun.
They said that they tried to get it to run on the PS2, and there's like footage of it and some behind the scenes like special features like DVD stuff. And it looks so cool, but they said that
How's
it
that
was
something that's never been added in subsequent re-releases and then mods on PC?
because they
how's
don't
somebody figured that out?
because it hadn't even gotten past the conceptual stage. Like a lot of the footage they showed was just the rigging. So like it was stick figures climbing on a bigger stick figure and like trying to figure it out. But they basically said there was like a couple times where they were loading it full, like doing certain like with assets with an engine, and it was just exploding PS2s. Like it just was like nope, can't do this. So it never saw the light of day, but I thought that one would be cool. My second one is I would uncancel Scalebound, which I think no one should be surprised or see coming, but obviously that would be my pick, because why would I not want a game where not Nero is sitting there doing sick combos with a dragon? Like,
Not Nero. We promise it is intellectually distinct. It's
Yeah.
a new
Headphones
character.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's very much Nero, and that's okay,
That's
right?
fine.
Kamiya worked on Devil May Cry anyway, so it's fine. Like, but yeah, it's definitely it's like that is one of the games that I would absolutely go back
From
and
that-
uncancel.
From that same era, go back and uncanceling. Give me that Phantom Dust game like that we're gonna make. Like, give me like
Oh,
a nice,
yeah.
polished, like new version of Phantom Dust. It's like
Yep.
if you go back and play that original one, it's fucking rough. But
Yeah.
if they were just give it a little more polish,
Yeah.
give it like more current era stuff, that would have been a fucking cool
Yeah, that'd be
ass
cool.
card game.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's what I had.
Nice.
So let's get into our weeks. Who wants to start?
I would like to go last if you don't mind.
Preston, is that when you're gonna do the thing you were telling
Yes.
me about? Got it. Okay, I can go. I have still been playing Trails. Still good.
Okay.
Naturally.
I have still been playing Dead Space Remake. Still good. And
Not streaming it for Alex.
here's the thing. What?
Not streaming it for Alex.
No, he asked one day after I made that comment, and it happened to be a day like Allie
Yeah,
and I
and
were
everybody
out or
said
doing
no, and
something
so I
couldn't
said
join.
fine.
I couldn't join, so yeah, so it was like F it. Like I asked once, and I'll never have to ask again. I did my job.
Yep, it's 100% correct.
You know what's funny? I couldn't join that night, and I thought to myself, "Well, there goes that.
Yeah.
It'll never happen again."
Opportunity's gone.
Honestly-
Literally thought it.
Honestly, I've only played one other time. But I knew that that's what was going to happen, so I was like, I'll just do this anyway. But no, so I'm on chapter 7.
Okay.
And the coolest thing that I'll say is that so far, all my same gripes are, the voice acting and all this other stuff is a bummer as somebody who like knew that game, forwards and backwards. But I will say, it is. There's like new side quests and things that like were not a thing before, and the way they do it with like the new loading screen. So it used to be when you completed a chapter in original Dead Space, the way they sort of hid the loading screens was by you transporting to a new area by using the tram system, right? So you would go to the tram, it would take you to where you go, and then when you would come out of it, it would say like, whatever the next chapter title was, and then give you the thing. And that's how they would do it, and there would sort of be no loading screens in that regard, right? This, because it's obviously on newer consoles, it just straight up just goes. Like there's no, so you'll like still use the tram to do things, but like there's no loading screen, and so what'll end up happening is you'll get messed with inside the tram. So like the tram will go, and then all of a sudden it'll stop, and like the door will start to creep open, and like dumb like weird shit will happen to you. But as somebody who is so used to the game, like when things happen that are outside of the normal, I'm like, what the fuck, like I'm like very surprised by it. So it was cool that they were able to sort of strike that balance. But yeah, my plasma cutter only run continues to
Yeah.
be super easy because the plasma cutter is just
The best.
one of the best weapons in video games. So that has been fun. And then I haven't played any more Street Fighter since our last recording, although I want to. Play a little bit more EDF, still fun. And 14, like Alex mentioned, we've been playing a bunch. Maybe
Got a
some.
raid?
We've been doing
Was that today?
the
Was that the
weekly
raid?
the weekly raids. Yeah, we were doing those today. We have we've been doing the variant dungeon. We've got 3 paths left, right, Alex?
Yes.
Yep, 10, 11, 12, I think, and then we're done,
Yeah,
and we have the
yeah,
new mount,
so-
which is cool.
Two on the right and one in the middle. Yep.
Yep, so we've been crushing that. It's been fun. We've been doing some behind-the-scenes work to potentially figure out a solid group of people.
Consistent 4.
Yeah, so we'll see how that keeps going. I'm trying to think. I still dabble in Magic here and there.
Okay.
And it basically just when the new week starts, so I'll do it to get all my weekly
challenges.
wins or whatever. Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, cool, bye.
Well, because nothing else really matters. I figured out like with the
Well, so
weekly
the
stuff.
daily quest will
with the
still
weekly-
help, right? But
Yeah, but the dailies you get like 25 XP. Well, I guess you could do the 1 or 2 big daily quests, but like the weeklies give you way
Yeah.
more than anything else.
Right, so I just do the
I actually
daily,
haven't been on in like
I
2
don't do the
weeks. I need to
daily
get on.
wins, but I do the regular daily quests, but I wait because you can store up to 3 of those at the time, right? So like I just wait until those are full, then I'll just like blast through them all and be like, cool, that was, 600 XP or whatever, then I'm like, done. Let me see.
Magic is great, and I'm really enjoying it. I tell you what, though, like they are so stingy with the XP because you do not get XP for playing. You only get XP for winning.
Yeah.
And
Well,
those
unless
games-
it's the daily quest, right? Like because there's sometimes where
Correct.
It's like just play 20 white spells or whatever. You do not have to win for those to count. Yeah, and they just did like recently they did a rotation of some kind where like all this starter deck stuff is new and like certain Lord of the Rings cards got filtered in, but I don't know if that means they're in standard now. I really don't. I like
Did I tell you guys that I played one of the Lord of the Rings tournaments?
No.
no.
So they have like legit tournaments you can buy
Yes.
into.
Yes,
in
you
that
can
game.
pay their gem currency to get into. Yeah.
And I had enough gems to try one out. So it's like,
Yeah.
why not? Try it out. And it was if you won 7 times, you moved on to day 2, right? And like day 2, it's like so there's a multi-week tournament, and you could win 7 times. You could lose twice, and you were out. And it was best of 3 per game. So technically, you'd have to win like 21 to move on to day 2. So it's a lot of games, but you had a lot of chances unless you lose, and they were all sealed. So you buy into the tournament, you get like 3 or 4 packs, you open them all, and there you go. And oh, dude, I got worked. I lost 4 straight. I was gone instantly. Didn't even have a chance. Like
Yeah,
no
and that's-
chance with
and
these
probably- you
killers.
know
And I
why
was like,
is
that was fun. Never again.
It's because people just there's people who've been playing for fucking 30 years, right? So like there's
Yeah.
nothing that we can do, right? I
just wanted to know.
You fucked around, found out.
there's so many
Yes.
questions that I have that sometimes where I'm just like I need like why did this happen or what's going on with this, right? And then it's just like you got to look online like nobody else is having these questions because they've all been playing for 150 years, so I'm like, I don't know. I think that's it. I think that's all I've been doing.
No new shows.
No, I finished The Bear. It was good.
Just waiting for you to start that Mandalorian, man. Like I'm fishing
I
for
know.
it.
It was
Every time I
good.
see you, every time I talk to you, I'm like, are you gonna watch? Because he asked me for the login for Disney again. He's like, well,
I did.
He
We're
told
gonna
he asked me
get
because
to it.
I have it saved of all of his accounts. So like I reminded him what his password was. But yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, yes. He asked you for the login because you
yeah.
have his password
Yeah.
written down in case he forgets it, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
smart. It's like having a key,
Yeah.
an extra key.
It's on paper, so that way
Wait, what?
no one can steal it from me. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you wait? Hold on. No, it's your password free. Oh, man, I feel like Alex right now. Jesus, I was just not picking up what you were putting down.
We're
Yeah,
on the
my
same page.
account. Yes,
Yes, your account.
Yes, I keep it for you for extra security purposes.
Yep. Just in
Yes.
case you lose it.
I
So,
appreciate that.
but yeah, he's been telling me about that, and I'm like, because I know why he did it. Because he wanted to start Mandalorian season 3. He just hasn't.
Well,
had the
that
time.
and I need to watch Visions too, which I'm gonna do
Oh,
without
yeah.
Alexa because she doesn't care.
It's good.
Yeah, no, The Bear is
You
good.
undersold the bear. Okay.
I'm
yeah.
not underselling it. I think season 1 was better.
Interesting. Okay.
And here's what I'll say, and then we can move on. We do not have to argue about
Don't
this.
care
We do
anymore.
not to talk about it. Me personally, I think that The Bear season 2 spends too long answering questions we didn't need answers to. So, for instance, like the whole hour-long episode that happens with the family, and that's all I'll say. I'm not going to go into any further. We knew, in general, the basis of that episode from season 1. Like, people in season 1 had a talk and said, like, yep, family's super fucked up. Here's what happened. It was really bad. We don't like to talk about it. It makes us all sad. Done. Cool. Now, me, as the viewer, I don't need anything. I'm good. Thank you. I have the backstory. I know what happened with the brother. I know this, I that, blah, blah, blah. Done. I don't need an hour showing me how painstakingly in every single detail how bad it was. Like, it's still
That episode is going to be the episode that wins them an Emmy.
probably,
They'll-
probably.
For sure. Yep.
And I will say, everybody in that episode acts their fucking ass off.
Yeah.
Like,
Jamie Lee Curtis is like top
She,
notch.
they all act,
Also,
yes.
also will win an Emmy for that episode.
They all act their asses off. This is just my personal preference talking. This is not a value statement on the season itself. Because also me thinking that the season 1 of The Bear is better than season 2 is not even a knock on season 2, considering that I think season 1 is an absolute 10 out of 10. There's nothing you should add. There's nothing you should take. It's perfect. So like, even if season 2 was a 9.9, it would still be worse than season 1. So it's not like, whatever. Either way, I think it spends so much of its time giving the viewers details that we didn't need, instead of spending not enough time validating itself and giving you the reasons that it needed to be there. So like, so much of that season is spent diving into detail on things we already knew and that you're just doing for detail's sake. And I think that there's a lot of times shows focus way too much on that to sort of fill the time when I don't need that. Like if you are writing it in a way that, like season 1 for instance, like you told me all I need to know about that background and now I'm in. Like I don't need the information that I was given in season 1. I didn't end season 1 of The Bear thinking I don't know enough about why these people are angry with each other or why they get upset when someone talks about X, Y, or Z or anything like that. And I don't think anybody did. In fairness, I think that I wouldn't be alone in saying that. I think that everybody would not come along. I just wish that I just knew more about blank because I didn't understand blank. Like I don't think that ever happened. That being said, it's still very good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's a very, very good season of television. It's better than most television that you'll go watch, period. Especially something like The Witcher, which I haven't started, but I've heard just nothing but horrible things about. So, but yeah.
I think that Bear episode hits differently depending on your own family situation. Because, like, I know from a lot of what I saw and read, like, people thought that episode was a standout episode of the season, and it's the highest rated episode of the entire, like, both seasons. So I think it probably hits different depending on how your own family situation was. The reason I liked that season so much is because I really found myself enjoying a couple of the redemption arcs with like Cousin and a few others.
Oh, sure,
like,
yeah.
The way he grew. So
nope. Yeah. So that's actually
I'd say that family episode didn't hit as hard. Like I loved it, but like I didn't grow up in a situation where it hit me as hard. However, I really found myself feeling and enjoying the growth that he has like at that other place and coming back and changing. Like
now that is an example. That is an example of a story beat that I think does validate season 2, right? That is something new that you're showing. You are showing character development, and that does not count in what I'm saying. And again,
sure,
you guys both intimately know a lot of familial details with me. There is parts of that family episode that hit very real.
So like home, yeah.
So I'm not. It's not even that. It's just like I'm totally aware of like there is not like. As far as the writing and the like filming of it, it's a fantastic. I understand why that episode is going to win them a million awards. It's a very, very good episode, right? Like there's all the roller coaster is there through the entire runtime. What I'm saying is from a pure story perspective, it's not needed.
I think the last episode is better off with some of those things that happened in there because we got that whole hour episode.
Again, yes, but
sure.
It helps pay off in the end.
It may not pay off until season 3 too.
If we didn't have that, I don't think that some of those things that happened in the last episode would have meant as much if we didn't have that.
What I would say is before that episode and even before the end, we were all aware that the mom was who she was.
Yeah.
They said in no uncertain terms during season 1 exactly who she is. And same thing that happened with all the other family members in there. We all knew about we knew exactly. So, like, I agree with you that moment when you do see that, like, it does help that moment at the end. I would just say that, and it's only that one particular shot. But the other parts where people are trying to figure out if that person shows up or if this person's going to flake or what are the odds or whatever. All those really powerful moments would have happened without that episode, and you would have been fine because you would have had the clues from the first season of, I know this person because they've already told me all the problems with this person and why it causes such an issue, right? So like, and there's just certain things like that. So all throughout the season, there was a lot of moments where I was just like, you didn't need, like, it's like filler in anime, but not like, and I don't mean filler as in bad, but I mean filler as in like, it's just there to fill in details for things that you already have known about.
They asked us for 10 episodes instead of 8, so we have to figure out how to waste 2 extra hours.
Really,
so
that's really what it is.
Episode on the thing.
And I think when you say that, I think people inherently take that as negative, and it's like, it's not negative, it's just, it is what it is, right? Like, it's not, and so, but because of that, that's why I would say it's a worse off season, because I think that in season 1, there's absolutely no fat on that season, right? Like, it goes from the second you press play to the second it ends. There is not a single amount of downtime in that fucking show. It is just like, we're not stopping, and you're going to get exactly what you need to get within these 8 episodes, and it's done, right? And so, and it's okay for shows to have a little bit of fat on them, and you can, whatever. That's okay. You can do whatever you want. It's your show. I'm just saying, me personally, I like when shows are just like pedal down, and that's where it's at. So.
I enjoyed seeing some of the cracks. So like, I think up into this season, everybody holds his brother who's dead. Spoiler for the first season, I guess, when we saw it. That's how the show starts. He inherits inherits the restaurant from his dead brother. Everybody seems to hold him in such high regard. Of like, he was such a people person. Everybody loved him, and you have all these flashbacks that show like how fun he was. I did enjoy that episode and actually seeing some of the cracks to see, like, in that episode, you're just kind of an asshole, like, the whole time,
perfect,
right?
yeah.
And it kind of shows that, like, after the fact sometimes, or being removed from situations, you sometimes see the lighter side, right? You kind of hold things a little higher than what reality was.
Or on the flip side, it's really hard to know what somebody is going through in private when they're being a dick outwardly.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. Either way, it's very good. The Bear is still a good TV show. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think that I've done anything else. Oh, you know what I will plug is that I don't know when it's going to come out, and it'll be happening sometime soonish, but the boys over at Two Worlds Podcast, obviously they have a sister podcast called Anime Boys, and your boy is going to be on it, where we're going to be discussing the first 6 episodes of Hamtaro.
Okay,
So,
I have not watched Hamtaro. I will
Nice.
watch that
if
with
you are interested in doing a little watch along with the first 6 episodes of Hamtaro and you want to hear some opinions on it, head over to Anime Boys. And
Okay.
you'll be hearing it.
Since we're bringing up Jake and his other podcast, I got this in the mail today, which is a Harley Quinn cover by Art Germ in the style of Persona 5.
It's very good.
And man,
Is it a foil cover?
This one is foil.
I got one
And
coming
it
my way
is-
too. Yeah, it's oof. That's
It is clean, and the edges are clean.
That is replacing one of
which
mine
means
over there on the wall. For sure.
It's gonna go in the safe until it can
Until
get
graded.
signed, and then it's probably gonna go right there beside those 2 Art Germs. I have another great Art Germ. It's actually probably my most expensive comic. I have a Vampirella 50th anniversary. I think it was issue number 2 of the current run. Art Germ did this cover, a Blood Moon cover. There was only so many made. I don't know the number's ever been released, but like they went to select shops and stuff. But it was like a special variant. It's worth a few $100s, I believe.
Damn, okay.
And it's one of my favorite comics, and I would love to have it out here. But being Vampirella, it is this very sexy, like, she's not wearing clothes. It's just blood that covers her boobs.
Yeah.
So that's a
horny
no-go for the public, apparently. However, it was really pretty cover. It was like red and gray, and she has really bright green eyes, but the Blood Moon is all black and white, and the only color on it is like the red and the moon, which is really dope. But
Can I
I
just
love
say,
Yeah,
anything done in the Persona art style just always is good.
Yeah.
Like there's just
Yeah.
like very few things like that, but Persona is one of those things where as soon
I would love to
if you
see-
can nail that art style and it's like
That looks like Anne doing cosplay.
Yeah.
I
It
wish
does. It
I wish
does look
somebody
like Anne doing cosplay.
would reach out to Archer and be like, you need to do these for like you could literally do like Ryuji could be the Joker. Like legitimately you could do a Joker style Ryuji. Some of those other people you could find like we have Catwoman or you could do Catwoman as Makoto and all kinds of different things. Like you do so many characters in that
Yeah.
Persona
I
5 art
think
style
we're gonna
and have a ton
see
of covers.
a
It'd be so good.
bump on the number on that cover for sure. No, I got a row of his over there. Like my favorite one that I have is he does a lot of very he makes everyone he puts on his covers are very pretty. Like the facial features are amazing and like the body's great. But he has a Killmonger that I have, and it's like the one that's supposed to look like the one from the movie, to where he's got all those like little scars all over his the torso. That is fucking oof. That's a good cover.
Yeah, it's incredible. I follow him. If you don't follow him on Instagram, he
Yeah,
does.
you should.
He teaches art classes, and he actually has a lot of like proteges out there. Like what Derek Chu is one of his. There's a few others that do a very similar style, and you can see him sometimes. Like is that Art Germ or one of his students, but he will do original characters. Like my students challenged me to draw XYZ character today, and it would be like a fast forward video of it on its Instagram. They're amazing. Doesn't matter if he's drawing a female or a male. Like everybody looks awesome. Super like powerful characters. So good. So anyway. So my week. I don't think I played much. I played 14. I've played the game we're going to talk about tonight in the book club.
Oh yeah.
And I think I'm trying to look around at my consoles. Like I think that's really it.
Yeah.
Honestly. Yeah, because I traveled last week for work, and I played this game while traveling.
And we didn't really go a full week between recordings.
We did not go a full week between
Thursday to Tuesday.
recordings.
Yeah.
We didn't go a full week between recording, and then this weekend I didn't have much time to play. So yeah, I guess I haven't played much. Just 14,
okay.
which is we're not going to talk too much about, but as Christian said last week, we're so bought in again. So,
Not that we ever left.
No,
but
you guys are in.
no,
You take breaks.
no, but yeah, sometimes the breaks are longer than others, and sometimes they're not long at all. But like even when the breaks aren't long, Christian may get on and do his dailies and like get the latest gear or whatever. But then there are times where a patch comes out, and then it's like, well, this is what I'm playing today, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, and so on.
And I want to do all of this stuff, and I don't get bored. I'm just sitting here, just grinding it out, hoping that two people, Travis, that will
And his shout out to his podcast.
yes,
And Nerds with Mics and his co-host Justin, who apparently also plays Final Fantasy 14. But I say, Pixar didn't happen, right? Join and play, or it did not happen.
run Savage content with us, or stop talking. Anyway, or delete the game.
Or delete the game.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyway, that's my week. Preston, what about you? I was trying to think as I said if I'd watched any shows, and I have not, so it's totally over to you.
All right. Christian got to experience some punk with me and his wife
I did.
the other night. That was
Apparently
a lot
that's a
of fun.
slur, by the way, so you might want to bleep that
Is
out.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just what they call themselves.
I think they say it because it's like a, like they can because they're from their thing.
So
So
is
I'm pretty sure.
A slur? Because I thought.
Yes,
was a
that's
word.
what I'm saying.
Okay, so you can't just say. Oh.
I heard it's very bad to say now.
All right. Well, I will.
Is it? Wait. That's a literal culture and type of people. Is it a slur to say if you're not?
No, the type of people and the culture are the Romani people. Is a slur that was a derogatory term that was used to call them.
Do they prefer nomads?
Romanian?
Nope, I think they
assume.
prefer Romanian people.
Yeah.
No.
Or Romani
because
people or
the
whatever.
people, the Romani people, if you will, that lived in caravans and traveled around as a small community of people, are very different than like Romanians or people that
Yes.
lived in a city and a town and stuff
I
like
said
that.
I said the wrong thing, but yeah, the Romani people, to my knowledge, that is the word you're supposed to use, and I cannot wait to
Okay.
watch this all get cut out of this episode when we find out that I'm correct.
Yes. So.
No, hey, look, no. First of all, you can't get canceled for learning. We're not saying it derogatory. I just wanted to be clear here because I thought that whole culture of like the nomadic, living in small areas, living with small communities of people, and granted, like what I know of that mostly comes from European, like England and Scotland and that sort of like
novels and tales
island.
and-
Yeah. So I thought that was actually like the type of thing, but it's interesting. I do know the band, so I googled it. Gogol Bordello.
Yeah,
I know who they are.
Yeah.
I did not know that's what they were.
So, just quick
But I-
definition, and then we can just put this whole thing to bed.
Yeah.
Most Romani persons find it offensive due to it being tainted by its use as a racial slur or pejorative connotation implying illegality or irregularity, and most modern dictionaries either recommend avoiding the use of the word or saying it not at all.
Okay. Well, you can't get mad at that because who reads the dictionary for fun? It gets updated all the time. But okay, so it's when people started using it as like an untrustworthy term, then it was Romani people. Where are the Romani people from? Are they from Romania? Are they similar, or is Romani a
dude.
completely different term?
They're a
That is something that we'll
traveling
have to
tribe.
answer on the outside of this. I have no
I
idea.
will. So now I'm interested,
Yeah.
and I don't care about this music festival. Now I need to know
It wasn't a
about the
festival. It was
history.
just
Just
a
a
show.
concert, yeah.
And I did forget to mention that, but it was a very good show. I had a good
Yes, it
time.
was a very good show. I love Gogol Bordello. I listened to them a long time ago. I haven't listened to them recently. I knew that they were making stuff, and I was kind of like waiting for them to show up in St. Louis, and they were going to, and then COVID happened. I'm like, fuck. And I was kind of waiting for it to happen. Then Alexa's like, hey, we got free tickets. I'm like, would you like to see them? I'm like, yes, very much so. I would like to see them. This is a great opportunity.
They played for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, they're late for like about an hour.
They weren't late. I think that's probably
Just
the
took a
time
hot
they were
minute.
supposed to go
Okay.
on. I just got irritated because I think most musicians nowadays are fucking prima donnas where they spend so much of the time in between sets just sitting backstage, just fucking, pretending like they're building suspense or something like that. When it's like, bro, if your gear is on stage and it is sound checked, come out and play. I do not care like that you have your little pre-show ritual where you have to make sure that you eat only 100 green M&Ms before you can come out and play or whatever the fuck you're doing. Like, stop making people wait 45 minutes in a cramped, hot venue with people breathing all over them. Like, just come out, play the music, so we can all go home. Thank you. That's my rant. But
yeah, it was a really good concert. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
I'm
It was good.
glad I got to hear it. I told them, like, hey, it's one song I want to hear. And it's like, Start Wearing Purple. If they play that, I'll be a happy man. Guess what? I got to hear my fucking song. I got to scream the words. It was great. It was a fantastic
they
time.
closed with it, I think.
Yeah, it was like one of the last songs for sure.
Or second to last.
Yeah, it was
whichever
like one of the last ones, yeah. But that one's a really fun song. And there's one thing I've been known to be really good at describing smells. I probably haven't done this with you guys, I don't think, before. But Christian, let me know if I'm wrong. When you're there, it's a hot basement, a bunch of people dancing around and stuff like
It's
that.
it's a three-tiered venue, and this show was in the lowest tier, the
Yeah,
basement.
the rave is
tier,
like a big giant building, and they got like different tiers, and yeah.
Yeah.
So this one's in the basement, and let me know if I'm incorrect on this. It smells a cross between a hot school bus and like a New Orleans like trinket shop.
I've never been to New Orleans.
So it smelled like incense and like that kind of like head shop kind of smell. That smell along with like a school bus, like a hot school
Yeah,
bus.
it's like
not
hu-
bad,
like
not
but it's
super bad, but like
humid.
just like humid, leathery,
Yeah.
with a little bit of like the incense kind of
Humid and leathery is a really good way to describe.
the
that
smell
was
is
yeah.
like, I didn't hate it. It was just a very
I've been in-
specific smell.
I've been in New Orleans. What was the comment about New Orleans?
It is like a trinket shop or like something that you go to.
Stop
that have,
reading Wikipedia and participate in the podcast.
Sorry, now I'm really interested
He's
in
looking at
this.
soccer over here, reading his fucking wikis over
No,
here.
no.
I know. Now we're gonna find out the fucking Steam Deck's running below here. He's
Yeah,
gonna be
right.
doing his dailies on 14.
No. Also, did you know the Romani people actually came from India? So they're Indian. It's an Indian subculture. Also,
Cool.
the English and Welsh Romanis do actually prefer the term. That's on official documentation. So it's not get you canceled comment if you're referring to the right people.
I'm
That's
no
all
longer
saying.
going to throw that word out anymore, willy nilly. But if I'm going up to
Okay,
the, if I'm
look
going
at-
to
look at
hold on,
Alex
no, no, no,
racing
hold on.
to defend
how
a
often do you-
slur.
how often does Preston
Wow.
throw the word around? Are you just walking
Well,
down the street
when
just
we're going to the
tossing it like candy?
fucking merch section, there's a shirt on there that's the punk shirt. So I might say I want the punk shirt.
Look at Alex racing to defend using a slur in his everyday language. Ridiculous.
No, I'm racing against Christian trying to cancel me on our own podcast.
I'm not
saying
trying to
I'm
cancel
wrong.
you. I'm just saying,
when I was
hey,
asking you a
look,
question.
there's enough people out there that say they don't like the term, so maybe we just
So
don't
I'm gonna
use
stop
it.
using it. Yep. As soon as someone tells me they don't
Sure,
like it,
but-
I'm just gonna stop using it.
Sh-
There's a lot of
sure.
words that
You
use like
can be
human and
canceled.
person
but-
and he, she, them. they.
All I'm saying is you don't have to cut it out as being like a racist slur when there are some Romani people that actually prefer it. I'm not saying you should use it all the time because you don't know, right?
Sure.
Like pronouns, you don't know,
Yeah.
so you shouldn't use pronouns if you're not sure until you ask. That's all I'm saying. But
Don't
you
know
should
that
get
it's the
canceled
same.
immediately for using something where people
First of
actually
all,
do prefer it. That's all I'm saying. I'm defending Preston's use of the word punk at a festival where he saw a shirt that said punk. That's all I'm saying.
no one was talking about canceling. You're the only one who's talking
You were
about canceling.
you were
here.
talking about canceling.
No,
You
I
said
just-
it earlier.
No, I just said maybe we bleep it. That's all I said.
No, it doesn't matter. Just say it. It's fine. Anyway, they
don't
came
know
from
that it's
India. I
fine.
didn't know that. I'm actually very intrigued by this. I've fallen down the Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
So anyway, New Orleans, yes, very hot. I've
Very
been and said
hot.
trinket shots.
Think about that like leather smell you would get from school bus back in the day.
Okay, you must have been riding on newer school buses than me.
No, these are like old, like the browns like peeling off and shit. And they put like this crappy
Okay.
tape on it. Yeah.
Did your bus have cloth seats?
No. My bus had the brown seats. Sometimes, if you're really fancy, they had the newer blue seats.
Okay,
Had less
okay,
chairs in
but
them.
Oh,
they're both leather, so you know what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
you know that smell. Like summer day
Yeah.
or a summer field trip, you're going out. It's fucking hot as shit. They got that one AC unit, maybe in the back. The bus driver has a fan oscillating in the front. Yeah, those are
Yeah.
hot days. But yeah, no, it's that.
That's what it smelled- that's what it smelled
yeah,
like?
That was the kind of environment we were
Yeah.
in. I didn't hate it. I liked it. I haven't been around people in a while. It was a very fun time.
I love
you-
smelling hot leather. Anyway,
I didn't hate it.
The only thing I recall smelling at in New Orleans was urine and beer because I was there.
I was gonna say minus. That's why I say
Friday-
trinket shop, like not the street.
Yeah. I was there the Friday before Mardi Gras, so they were doing parades,
It's even
and
worse,
you walk
yeah.
down, and the parades start on a nice street and end and kind of go through, whatever their fucking, the street where everybody drinks. in the
Bourbon
bars,
Street?
The famous. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not a fan, so it's fine.
I love New Orleans.
But all I remember is a bunch of drunk people puking, the place smelling
what
pee,
you do.
and alcohol.
yeah,
And
just do whatever the fuck you want in that street.
yeah, we had
I'm down. That is very true. I saw a lot of random things you wouldn't see most places, and look, I'm down for a lot of that stuff. Like, I love the downtown in Nashville, and I like going downtown in Austin and stuff where like there are a lot of bars and you're hopping around. But New Orleans is a disgusting world of its own.
Can be, but it's also very fun.
I think if you were in a
love
place in which
Louisiana.
I
people
love New Orleans.
shit in public on the street, it's gone too far.
Can't say
me.
I didn't see that.
That's just me. That's just
Can't
me.
say I've never seen that in New Orleans.
I think that it's and before Alex, before you start in about San Francisco having a fucking app, and so that makes it okay. It is
know.
not
Dodge
okay.
it.
Nope.
Just walk around
Fuck that. No.
Bob
Anyways,
and weave, motherfucker.
Press. We had very different. I always have different. So when you were talking about like, oh, it's been a while since I've been around a bunch of people, so it was fun. For me, all it did was reinforce how much I fucking hate people. Like I was just like,
I loved it.
like when some
Must've been
dude who's
pheromones.
just like unbelievably sweaty is like and drunk and is like, oh, sorry, and then bumps into you, and then you're just covered in somebody else's.
Someone did do that to
sweat.
me. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah, and all it does is just remind me. I'm just like, I hate people.
We're going to a concert tomorrow night, and we typically get seats, but Allie had just last minute bought like some lawn seats,
get general,
and it's
yeah.
gonna be the 90s in Atlanta tomorrow evening, and I'm
No.
dreading the same thing. Like
No.
everything's gonna be wet, everybody's gonna be wet. Like I just
Yeah,
Ugh.
I just can't do. And you know what's funny is back in the day, and you can. I don't know what exactly changed it. I'm sure part of it is COVID, part of it is just getting older and me becoming more crotchety. But like, when I was younger and I was playing all those shows like in a band and stuff. Oh, dude, you couldn't tell me. I mean, I would want to be dead in the middle, right? Like I would want to be just in the middle of the crowd, and then like if a pit opens up, I'm like, let's do it. Let's rip this thing around, go crazy, blah blah blah. And now I want to be like, I want to find the perfect like sonic area in the middle between the two PAs, like all the way in the back. And I want to be able to have that sound hit just right so I can sit there and go, cool, I'm having a great time. And the side benefit is nobody's fucking around me, so I can just enjoy this concert as I want to.
When we went to see Seosin, we would have been so happy we went to see Seosin. We were there early enough, and my old manness was so excited because we were in the center, but along the back where the sound fence was.
Yep.
So all the guys doing sound and lighting were here in the middle.
Fun
we were
fact,
right there,
that's
so
one of the
you
best
could lean against
places.
it. Lean against it if you want, but like nobody's opening up a pit or anything near you because there's not enough room, and it was just like
And it's one of the
Perfect.
best places because that's where the sound engineer is going to be sitting to make sure that everything
hears.
sounds right and is coming through. So you can kick back on those and know that you're getting one of the best possible experiences for the show.
yeah,
So,
that's what we had.
yeah.
It's close to the exit, so if that place would have gone up like a tinder box, it would have been the first ones out. Like
Yep.
you could,
About
it's
that. Nope.
all around. Yep.
Which is sad that that's where my brain goes, but that's one of the immediate things I think of is I want to be close to an exit.
I wasn't going to say what I was actually thinking. My brain goes somewhere far darker nowadays.
Yeah. Yes,
in our
I
current
agree.
Climate.
Yes.
Fire is not the thing. It's usually
Nope.
can I see the door?
Yep.
But we don't. That was too dark, so we don't need to go there.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Yeah.
All
But
right.
yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah, good show.
They put on a hell of a performance, that's
They
for
did.
sure.
It was great. I'm glad I got to see him at least once. Other than that, I've been watching. I finished season 5 of The Expanse. It's very sad what happens at the end of that, and a very surprising event that happens. Alex has seen it. Christian, I think you would love the show, but it's 6 seasons, and it's just a lot for you to take in. You barely watch TV to begin with, so as much as I would love to recommend that to you, you're not going to watch it. Unless you are really needing some shows, but you don't need shows. We got plenty of
Maybe I'll pick the Expanse Telltale game, and that'll be our next book club and force Christian to play
I
through it
will play
way.
that game. I'm super excited for it. Now I'm getting this far
Yeah.
into Expanse. I cannot wait to play that
Yep.
game.
I love
Looks
force. I love the use of force there. Like I'm just dragging my feet on anything related to the Expanse.
No,
You drag
it's
your
just-
feet
it's a
on
lot to
anything
take into.
related to television. You don't watch TV shows.
I don't drag. That's not dragging my feet. It's just me not watching television. That's not me being like, yeah, I'll watch
I'll
it, and
get
then I
to
watch
it.
one episode here, and then 3 months later I watch a second episode.
Call
me
it,
not
call it,
interacting
call
with
it.
a medium is not dragging my feet. It's like saying that I've been dragging my feet on modern art. I just don't go.
Other than
What
that,
you want to call it?
Yeah.
I also been playing a little more Street Fighter 6, going through the World Tour mode. I got a couple of rounds in with the one Cory Barlog, not of fame and fortune, but our Cory Barlog. And yeah, we got in with that, and it felt good. It felt good to play a little bit. Rashido's out now. I would love to play Rashid. I want to see what he's all about. I haven't dove into it just yet.
Have you seen the bug for him?
I have seen the bug. It fucking... That is the worst thing. I do not want to get caught by that. If I got caught by that, I'm like, I'm done. I'm done right now.
Honestly,
I'm
it's to the point where if up until that hotfix comes out, if I see a Rashid match with me, I'm gonna be like, nah,
good.
because I know
I need
what
you to
you're
do it.
doing.
Yeah.
and I'm not doing it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
probably know what to do. Yeah.
yeah.
Also dived in a little bit today, right before the podcast, a little bit of the season 1 of Diablo 4. I created my new character. I got a druid going. I hit the skip campaign. So I'm starting off level 1, just kind of going with the new seasonal expansion. It seems all right. I mean, I'm not too far into the story to kind of tell you if it's super amazing. I can guarantee it's not going to be. But I just wanted to kind of see what's going on with it, what's happening. And you're getting in. There is a malignant thing happening in the world now that Lilith is gone. And there's a main character in the story that you kind of talk to who like wants to help figure out what's going on with this. And essentially what happens is there's a lot of like spots in the world now that are going with this like kind of like corrosion or this infection, which they calling the malignancy or whatever. And there are also enemies that like elite enemies, if they are the malignant type, when you kill them, they drop like a corroded malignant heart. And when you pick up that heart, it goes into the ground and it spawns a wave of enemies, which you now have to kill. And once you kill those enemies, and especially the main one, the elite, it drops you cage the heart, and you get essentially an item to socket. So now you can socket these hearts into your weapons and armor, and it'll give you boofs. And you cannot remove them, but you can replace them. So if you find one that you like better, you put it in there, it destroys the heart that you currently have in, and then kind of you go from there. So I got a couple of fun little hearts here and there. One just summons me some Wolvie pals, which is nice. So it's Diablo 4. We talked about it plenty of times. It's still that Diablo 4, and when I'm getting through my not cutscenes, but my dialogue scenes, if you will, like when you talk to an NPC and you're both just standing there, same angle as the actual gameplay. I am now getting just like good 5 seconds of black screen. So they're still talking.
Would you rather have black screen, or would you rather have
entire cutscenes?
super zoomed in like you were before, where you were like off and couldn't see?
I can't believe how
Stuff
bad
happens.
that's fucking still running for you. Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
I was even thinking about, hey, should I start the story again just to kind of go through to see if I can get all those cutscenes I missed? I'm like, I'll do that later. Like, it's fine. I'm not going to try to power through all that again right now, at
It was
least.
so long.
Yeah, it was long, and I don't know if it was worth it.
Except for Act 4, it was only 2 quests long. So
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes. So, how are you? I mean, I know you haven't interacted with it much, but how are you feeling about the current Battle Pass situation?
I mean, I couldn't tell you too much because I didn't get into it. I know we've talked about playing today, us, and talked about Battle Pass, talked about the 666 platinum that you get out of it, which is apparently a spit in the face.
Did you read the second article I sent?
Yes,
Preston?
to where like even if you were to like use that to get the Battle Pass and then you make enough points to get the next Battle Pass, you would be like two credits off.
Too short.
So
from
even the
earning
article-
a season 3 Battle Pass.
Yeah, even the
You have to
article,
buy it.
is like you know that they did the math on it, and they were so fucking proud of them, smug and proud of themselves that it was 666 was a number they could use to get it to where you wouldn't be able to pay for that third pass.
Yeah, and they'll be like, not only will we make money on this, but it'll be great for
666
marketing,
is
and no
themed.
one will ever notice because all of our players are dumb idiots.
So for the people that don't know, 666 currency is not enough to buy the next season pass.
Season is 3,000.
So you would have to
1,000.
buy. So you would buy their base package of whatever it is, 1,000. That would give you 300 and something left over. So then you would add that 300 something left over to the 666 you get by completing season 2, and you would still be too short from
Yep.
being able to buy season 3. So you're still gonna have to buy another 1,000 gold to buy season 3. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It's very fun.
I've heard. So from what I understand, mechanically, there's a lot of things that people like about this season. Apparently, the weird malignant heart things can make your characters do some weird,
Yeah.
wacky stuff, which is cool.
Possible.
That's fun. But man,
It seems like though anybody that's found a way to break that game right now, Blizzard is very quick to be like, yeah, we're patching that.
Yeah, was it like
Like
took
you've
down vulnerability damage by 40% or some shit like that? I'm like, that's my sorcerer. That was my sorcerer wanted you to be vulnerable or something like that to get you big hits on there. And now that you're taking
Yep.
that 40% down, well, fuck
was-
that sorcerer build now.
For
That's what it doesn't work.
for 2 days of the class, Preston, your sorcerer, if you had one of those like high end legendary weapons, did 0 damage because they effed up the patch and left a placeholder somewhere where it shouldn't have been, and it glitched the weapon, so it literally did 0 damage for 2
Yeah,
days
it's not
until they
surprising.
hot
Yeah.
fixed it.
Yeah, these guys are fucking
pretty
up left and
cool.
right. But yeah, if you do go in, and this is a PSA to everyone, including Christian, because I know he's going to play it, so I don't think you're going to jump into it, but if you do, it'll be with us. But if you do jump in, or if you think about you want to jump in and create that new character, jump in to your other character first that you've used to unlock the maps and everything. Because since patch 1.1 or whatever, they made it to where you can now do that mitigation to where the highest discovered character is what's going to transfer to all your other characters. So I had to log into my character before I created my other character for the season. So that way when I went into that seasonal character, it had my
Your
map
map will be
was
there,
opened
the
up,
altars
all the
you
little
found,
ones I found will be there. But they didn't have that previously, so this was an afterthought of them like carrying everything over. So I guarantee you, they just want you to do it all over again at first, and it's like, okay, well, people are gonna get pissed.
and they saw the
so-
backlash, and they're like,
Yeah.
we can't make them do it all over. We'll only make them do half of it over.
So I was watching the developer update for the season because I was curious and I was just bored that day when it was going on. So I watched it, and like the fucking smugness on this like developer's face, like this dude who's talking about, he's like, well, we took the time to make sure that you guys would get what you want, so we're listening, guys. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's like you were gonna make this a horrible. It's not a great game to begin with, and you were gonna make it even worse. And like you're saying that we should thank you for giving us like just common fucking proper ways of doing and going about things in your fucking game. Like fuck you.
I don't want to stay on.
I've heard it before though. I've heard companies tell me we're listening.
Yeah, but
to
I
you.
watched them do that again, and like just the look on the guy's face and his tone, even on top of that, was
Yeah.
was like, we heard you. Now shut the fuck up. Quit complaining on X. Because I want
I
to
don't
hear
want
it.
to. I don't want to because we've all gone so hard on them already. It's like I don't.
Yeah,
but
don't
man,
too much, yeah.
it is so infuriating to me how you just missed the mark so bad. Like
Is it because I'm
if
trying to
you
make it like Eternal?
You remade Diablo 2, a game that everybody loves.
Knocked it out of the park.
And it's not hard to do. All you have to do is just give it a new coat of paint, right? So but while you're doing that, you're figuring out okay, clearly these are the things that people like. This is the game that everybody loves. So why don't we just start with this as our foundation and then move forward? And they're like, nah, fuck it.
But
and
Christian,
it's like, but why though?
why? Because
Yeah.
Eternal. Because Eternal came out and made them a fuck ton of money. It's still making
Or
them a fuck ton of
Immortal.
money. Immortal, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But
That's
yes,
not-
I
With
know.
the backlash, mind you, there's a lot
With
of
the
backlash, there
backlash,
too.
it's
and
making
Yeah.
a shit ton of money. And
Yeah.
they are just, they even announced like a new class
And
for it
boy, the
recently.
defenders of that game defend it till their dying breath because they spent
can't.
$4,000
I'm
on
not
it.
gonna fucking listen to them. But yeah, it's they saw that like they have to make the same kind of money with Diablo 4, otherwise it's not gonna be a success, or they have to make something close to that because it's the console game, so we don't want to make it as invasive as the other one, but we're gonna do it as much as we fucking can until people stop playing our game. That's what's happening.
Yep.
So yeah, play a little bit of that. I might play a little bit more. We'll see if I get that bored. Honestly, if I had Final Fantasy 16, so GameFly, where the fuck is my Final Fantasy 16 game? You said you sent it to me like a week ago. I still don't have it. Still don't have it. I wouldn't have had to play Diablo 4 today if that was the case. Okay,
Gamefly,
GameFly got me fucking playing Diablo 4 over here and shit.
count your fucking days.
Don't you have Game Pass?
Final Fantasy 16 is on Game Pass.
It is not.
No, but you have lots. I'm just saying. You
I
have
know.
lots of
I could be playing Arcade Paradise and stuff
Then
like that
blame
too.
Game
Sure,
Five.
sure. I could be playing Exo Primal and get my stuff up on there too.
You could be playing Final Fantasy 12.
Could be playing. No, I will not start that before 16.
Or 13 if you want. 13's even on Game Pass.
I'm good. I would actually rather
Play
play.
all of
I would
them.
actually rather play Diablo 4 than 14 or 13.
Play
13.
Persona. Which Persona game do you want to play?
I want to play the
On Game
remake of
Pass?
3 that they're making, and I'm waiting for it.
True. Yeah.
And that's what's happening with Persona and me. And then lastly, playing Snap. Been doing better. It's been a lot of feels bad for like 2 weeks on me on Marvel Snap. I just was the RNG for my cards I was being dealt and the people I was playing against were just, it was like a shitty fucking 2 weeks, guys. I went from like 94 to 83, and I was really worried that I was gonna get below 80 and get into the 70s. Like if I get into the 70s, I'm gonna get real fucking pissed and stop playing this whole season as far as like the ladder climb, because like I don't want to do this to myself. It feels bad every time I play. But lately I've got my Lockjaw deck going down. I'm changing it up a little bit with him, and it's feeling good. So I've been dropping down my Gigantos and my Infinauts. It's been great. We talked about it last time.
What are you back up to now?
I am 84. I don't know. You know what? I always want to do something, and we can. Oh,
So you've been to the peak of the mountain.
I have been to
And
the
now
peak of
that
the
you've been
mountain.
to the peak.
It's just this
Now that you've been
season.
to the
It's
peak,
fine.
If you lose, you literally said, "I'm gonna take my ball and go home."
That
You
was
did say
no,
that.
no.
What
That
you
was
said.
for the spotlight caches.
Yeah.
No, you said I was feeling bad about myself, and it doesn't feel good to lose. I thought
So,
if I lost any more, I was
they-
gonna quit playing this season.
Their last patch was that for them like to help the meta, because there's something called a bounce deck, and essentially that was getting a little too much used too often, and it was kind of like, it was a part of the meta. It was the big part of the meta. Like most people were playing that fucking deck, and like, okay, well, we're gonna change it up by kind of nerfing a couple of cards in that deck that are usually played in that deck and are getting a little too powerful for the whole overall meta. And my deck that I had was not a bounce deck, but it had a lot of those same cards in it. And so a couple of my cards I use in my deck that I got me infinite last season were nerfed. Not horribly, but it was nerfed enough to where it's like, I'm not getting the numbers, and destroy decks are fucking putting out fucking like 40s on one card. I'm like, no. We're not doing this. I need a whole new change, new deck, new me shit, like I said last week. And we got it, and we're feeling good about Lockjaw right now. So we're getting back up in the 80s. We'll see how I do with getting to infinite. I'll keep you guys updated on that. But played a little bit today, and I want to do something a little different this week. Alex, this is also a surprise for you. I told Christian about this earlier because I had to get off my chest because I really wanted to say it. I got another one of them spotlight caches. I would like to open up this Spotlight Cache live on the podcast. So,
Ooh,
those of you
We
listening,
could see
All
Preston
right.
quit the video game
nah,
right
I won't.
now.
I said I need a couple of them to fuck me, but it's gonna be a little different. So,
You said you needed one more.
that is
Yeah,
true.
you know,
I just need one more.
I do like backpedaling. We're gonna go ahead and stream this to Discord.
A few moments later.
All right, now I can see it there. It's being recorded. Yes, no, maybe so. It is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I
Well,
see it.
let's make sure
I
it's
see
being
it.
recorded. All right. So as you can see, I'm at A5 now. So we're going that. And I've
Okay.
got my little Spotlight cache. So I'm gonna give it kind of like it's an easier way of kind of running down the Spotlight caches and kind of giving you an idea. So this is Spotlight cache, the little purple guy right here, right? And these are the 4 cards. So this is the new week. So Legion's the new card. And then it's got 2 variants because I already have High Evolutionary Darkhawk, but it's got really sick variants for both of them. And I'm okay with getting those. I'm okay with that.
But what we're not okay with is the
This little guy
the
right
random
here.
ones on the side. Yeah.
Get one of the rarest cards in the game. If you already own the card, you can convert it to a premium variant, which could be a baby. But for example, every 3? Yeah, every 3 of these little caches you get. I mean, you see, you get credits or you get boosters. I actually I gotten 2 new cards out of those caches. The last 2 normal caches I've gotten, I got Polaris and I got Absorbing Man over here. I'm like, cool, I'm getting new cards. If I fucking get a variant on the Spotlight cache, that feels
He's
like shit.
uninstalling the game.
I'm not installing the game.
Can I say, when you get to somebody called Absorbing Man, you're running out of characters.
Dude, that's
an
not
Agents of
comic
S.H.I.E.L.D..
books. Comic books is full of fucking nobodies.
Yeah, like I said, we were talking last year. Like, yeah, it's got fucking random name generators on here. But
there was characters that Preston brought up that Jake didn't know. If Jake doesn't know you, you have too many.
he got around it. He figured it out sooner or later. But yeah, so that's the Spotlight cache, and then we go all the way down. This is how I've gone through. Hamana. This was my last Spotlight cache. I got that before we recorded last time, a couple days, and then I finally have gotten to this one. So I haven't been able to get 2 of these Spotlight caches before they change up the cards in the week, right? All right, so drum roll, please. We're gonna open up the Spotlight cache, and we're gonna see if Preston gets disappointed. It's either gonna put me in the proper mood I should have for the video game book club, or it's gonna give me a little bit of a little pep
An
before we
extra
go
tinge.
into an extra
Yeah.
tinge. So, all right, big bucks, no whammies. I got the new card. Okay, Preston feels
There
good
we
about it.
go.
We got Legion.
Well, there you go.
Legion. So he replaces each other location with this one. So if he drops down a location, all the locations become that location. Cool. Awesome. Preston's a happy boy. He got a free card. And if we were to check right now, he bet you he's a 6,000 card, isn't he? Give saying load in. Well, it says sold now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's a 6,000 cost card, which of course I only have 1,800. You don't get tokens very often to buy those cards. And
Yeah, it's an expensive card.
Silk is one of those we got earlier, and it's like 6,000. So it's it's not cheap. I rarely get those. But yeah, well, speaking of Archer, it's a good Archer. All right, moving on to
that's
the
a good cover.
podcast though. Feel good about that.
Very similar. So it's very similar to one of Jake's favorite covers is an Art Germ cover of Fantastic Four and the Sue Storm.
I have that
Is
variant.
so good.
And Marvel
'cause,
Snap.
He made her. I mean, he made her look invisible. Like part of her looks
And I
invisible.
love
don't
her
know how you
outfit
do
too.
that.
Like with the outfit he drew was really cool too.
I don't know how you do that with like traditional art to make somebody look transparent and invisible. It's incredible. But yeah.
Great job. Yeah. All right, but yeah, that is my week. And so far, my week's been pretty good because I got a new card out of it. So I'm happy. Preston's a happy boy. Preston will be playing Sunday snaps are still a thing so far. Good job,
I know.
Saint Dinner. You
The
done it
other
well.
day he was like, dude, if this game fucks me again, I'm gonna do Sunday morning Street Fighter. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, it might turn into Sunday morning Street Fighter if this fucking game pisses me off anymore. Yeah, no, I'm happy about it. Good deal. You didn't see me get fucking all tilted live on air. It's great.
I really wanted to see another baby.
I kind of
variant.
wanted
And
to
I-
see something like that happen. Just to
And
see
I
what
know
it did.
Alex was 1-2-2 because his team is down 4-0 right now, and so he's really
Somebody
mad.
else needs to feel the pain.
I'm such a bitter boy right now. Like I
I know.
needed a little bit of Schadenfreude. Like
Yeah.
yeah. There's a little part of me
If
that
you would've gotten-
really
if a
felt
baby
bad
would've
things
showed up
towards
on
one
that
of my good
screen.
friends right now. Like I would have felt really bad wishing Preston like bad luck, but but I feel real. I'm real.
I can
disappointed
tell. I
in
can
Bitter
see
Boy.
in his face. I was like, dude, if a baby shows up on this,
So
there will
you
be real joy in his heart. He will.
So you
feel.
couldn't see right as you were going to open it, right before you clicked. I was glad you were delaying because we had a free kick right at the top of the 18 by Thiago Almeida, who's the best free kick taker in the league. He scored 4 goals off of free kicks this season and 2 assists off of free kicks and blocks. And it was a perfectly placed kick, and the goalie just barely blocked it. So we even had a chance to get a goal back, and we missed my one high point of the night. So yes, when you were opening it, there was part of me that wanted it to be.
Yeah, like
Was
was it Misery Loves Company? Is that the saying?
I'm so sorry. I promise I didn't mean it.
Hey, if that's what gets me the new cards, you can think that all you want. Okay. Just keep thinking that if it gets me getting the new cards, I'll take it.
Right now, and Alex said he's just die.
Fuck your Legion.
So bitter. Okay.
That's my week.
All right. Well, let's get into our final
The final.
episode.
Thank God.
Speaking of bitter,
Final
and
episode.
and speaking of bitter,
this
I'm bitter
video
as
game.
fuck that I had to play this goddamn game any longer than I did last week.
I'm glad that was a short third part.
Dude, when we got off on the
I died a
episode,
lot.
I went out to the living room and finished it, and Alexa was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm gonna finish this game." I was like, "I cannot have it go any longer than tonight. I do not want this game for the rest of this week."
No.
Christian heard me get online today. He's like, "Hey, I'll be on in 10 minutes," and I was like, "Yeah, I'll be on here in a few. Let me finish this up." And I got on. And I was like, "I'm doing a jumping puzzle in Star Wars, which we can talk about in a minute." And I've fallen like 4 times because invisible walls.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. I have to put it down and walk away. Like, I can't do it anymore. I don't want to do it anymore.
Yep. It gets there. It does feel that way. It feels bad, man. But yeah, we start off the section beforehand from last time. We were doing a free fall right behind the Republic cruiser as it goes into one of the buildings of Camino, which acts as a hornet's nest for TIE fighters, because somehow there's dozens of TIE fighters inside a building at Camino that come out of there when you bust open the side of it. So
Yeah, and they dodge the ship
Did you-
that slams into it.
Did you notice too? I don't know if you were, as you're going through the level of Camino, when you later on into the level, when you get into this big cloning area, which we'll talk about in a minute, you could hear TIE fighter sound effects
Yeah.
inside of this area.
they're just
like,
there's
why?
around. There's around.
You know what I feel like in that moment?
Why?
In that moment, and I think that it's an idea that is shown all over this game, which is something will happen on the screen, and then you will go, but that doesn't, and the game goes, shut up,
But shut up, though. It's Star Wars.
but just shut up. It's
fantasy.
Like, we
No
did
rules.
it because, and you're like, but it doesn't make any sense, and then shut up. Just let it.
We have wizards in this game. Nothing makes sense. So why not?
just
Why not
just
storm
let
TIE
the
fighters?
dumbness
'Cause-
wash over you.
because-
Like,
Why is there Imperial walkers that are normally made for like all terrain outside? Why are they in a building? Who knows? They're just there.
true, they are just inside
Those-
building. Yeah.
Just inside.
Those Imperial walkers literally 2 legs, 2 little chicken legs, right?
Big ass.
will literally
small rooms.
lean on one leg, put all their weight on one leg, and ninja kick you with the other. And it's like, that's not how physics works.
I just
it would
imagine-
just fall over.
I just imagine that in the pilot seat, they believe that for this game specifically, it's like the pilots for Pacific Rim,
Where they're just locked into the
strapped
thing
into
and
the thing.
standing up.
And the guy, the stormtrooper, is just sitting there being like "Hiya!" and like just like kicking.
But yeah, you are running through Camino to rescue Juno. Not rescuing. You're just trying to find Juno. You don't know what the fuck she's doing.
Yeah, you don't even know yet. Yeah, you're just trying to find.
You
Juno
assume
at this
Boba
point.
Fett took her, which again we
I-
Well, you know,
totally forget
yeah,
about.
you know Boba Fett took her. Yeah, because you watched the ship leave with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the only time you see
So
Boba
let
Fett. Yeah.
So let me say that I got into the game today, and it gets on in you're running a circular, and it says where the other guy's talking to you, and he's like, "Hey, we really need to like do this together," sort of thing, and you're just like, "No, I'm here for Juno. I'm here to get her and get out." And I literally had to stop and make sure that I didn't load the wrong save, because I could have sworn this conversation had happened in other places of the game, and I was like,
It
"Wait a
does.
minute."
It
Yeah,
just
I was
repeats
like-
itself over and over. He said, "No, I'm not helping," but you are helping. But no, I'm not. I'm trying to do what I want to do. It just so happens to help out the good of the New Republic,
Yeah.
or the Republic, not new, but yeah, the Republic. And it's like, no, I'm not going to help you, but I'm going to take out these snipers for you. No, I'm not going to help you, but I'm going to cross this bridge and help you take out these guys.
I know
Just
they
because it
both
happens to
help
be the
each
same
other.
path. Yeah.
They both help each other during this part where they're heading towards. They know that she's being held in the cloning facility.
Yeah.
But so this whole first
Which
part
this entire planet is theoretically just one big.
It's
yeah,
like
but
giant
it's not
cloning
the
She
special.
could be anywhere.
It's not the special part.
But this
either
is
way.
the tube section.
So you're running and you're going through these things and you're pressing your right. You're arguing the entire time with him about what you guys can and can't do for each other. Meanwhile, you're helping each other get to where they need to go. Also, I don't know if you guys ran into this bug, but there's one part where there's snipers on your end that are firing down at Coda and whoever else.
First section, yeah.
And he's like, you got to take these fucking snipers out so we can get this bridge for you. Like, you have to do it. You have to do it. So you kill them, you do it. And it shows them fighting stormtroopers down there, but they're also obviously pinned down by sniper fire. Well, if you're using the Christian method of getting rid of enemies, which is run up, grapple them, and then just throw them off the edge, you end up doing that fight really, really quickly, and it is before the stormtroopers in the background that are down there on that bridge with them are dead. And so when you kill them, they all just stop fighting, stand up, and then walk away towards the door in the background. Republic and Stormtrooper soldiers are just like, okay, I guess
moving on.
Our time on set is done now, boys. So let's go hit the break room, and I'll catch you guys on the next bridge. It is unbelievable. Like you just looking at this and you're like, the problem that I have there is it would have made sense to me with how this game has gone so far that if after I finish that section, if I finish it too fast, they all just like T-pose down there and nothing happens, right? It's like, okay, you didn't expect me to make it this far. I broke the logic. It stopped. Whatever. That's fine. The fact that there is a situation in which the AI goes, okay, we're all done fighting now, so let's all just single-filedly walk out of this area is like...
Just have them die.
Yeah, have everybody fall over. Who knows? I don't care. Have them all disappear. Right? Just blip them off the screen. Yeah. You already do that anyway. Why does it matter? Like, why make them... It's just so stupid.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, going through those corridors,
I didn't get a chance to tell you this, Preston, because, again, like, this is when Christian and I were on earlier. But there's a part in the early stages of this level where you're running through, and you come into a room where there's a couple of gold guys. And these gold guys... they're not the ones that shoot... They block your force stuff, right?
They're called saber
red
breakers,
guys... Yeah, and the red guys shoot like kind of the force pushes that you do. They do the same thing. They shoot balls of like force pushes. And I run into this room, and there's like 10. There's probably like 5 of each, right? So my first thing is like, let's run around and kill the gold guys because they're the ones that block your force stuff. So I'll do the little like poof, like shockwave and flip some of them. I kill them, and then I take the others. I was telling Christian, I got stuck at one point because I was getting juggled. Somehow 3 of these AI got around me, like 2 on one side, 1 on the other, and they had just so happened to have their little like force pushes timed to where I was getting ping-ponged and juggled around this room and could not get out of it. And it wasn't enough to kill me because I'm playing on story because like, oh my gosh, I cannot stay in this game any longer than I need to be, right? So it wasn't doing any damage to me. So instead, it was just ping pong. I was so pissed.
Yeah. No, I've gotten knocked out of like grapple animations because someone hit me with a force power while I was trying to grapple somebody and like stab with a lightsaber. It's like, nope, this camera angle is gonna be bad for you, and you're just gonna get hit by some force power while you're trying to grapple somebody. Have fun. Do it fast because if you don't do it in time, we're gonna stop you.
Again, the lack of dodge. And like how quick they do stuff, and the fact that nothing just hits you, everything knocks you back and stuns you.
The lack of block. Just let me block.
It's so infuriating.
And also, it's a lightsaber. Like if I have a block up, no one should be able to kick me through it. It'll just go right through whatever I'm blocking. So why am I?
Amen.
I noticed today that some of the stormtroopers you will actually chop through.
Like heads will come off, arms will come off. Yeah. Because this is like the one This is the one part in like a level in the game that you're like actually getting close to being like near 2 or 3 stormtroopers. So you're getting like a pretty good view of what you're doing to these stormtroopers, and you're just taking off limbs and heads and shit. So
Yeah.
I'm like, did I not notice this earlier? Like, yeah, because it was just either too many characters on screen or it was too zoomed out, so I didn't really notice it very much. But now we're in these tighter corridors, and you're seeing it happen.
I don't know that that's true. I actually wonder if it was not happening earlier, because I feel like I would have noticed earlier.
I think I would have too, but maybe I didn't.
Who knows?
Who knows? I would have
It
think
would
I'm
be
never-
weird.
I'm
It would be
never gonna
weird for
play
all
again
of
to
us to
find
notice here. It'd be weird though for all of us to notice here and not have noticed earlier.
I feel like
to
I-
me that says that it wasn't happening earlier in the game.
I feel like I definitely remember it happening earlier in the game. That being said, there is no shot I will ever go do the legwork to go back and play it to figure it out. So
I mean, I got footage, but still, I don't even care.
unfortunately, there's just no way to know.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense that you're chopping through people and you're right. Like you get kicked through your lightsaber. You're just like, how?
Yeah, I don't even mind. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like you're attacking, it's fine. It's like, but when I'm blocking, like, why? Just do
Yeah.
the thing. Like it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
So you're doing the whole. I gotta get through the the cloning facility. You're running through.
Where's my wife? That's what he's basically doing the whole time.
Where's Thirst Trap? Where's she at? Gotta find Blondie, and you're running through. You're kind of inadvertently helping each other out, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing, but no. Okay, so you get to a part where the gunships are taking them down, and this is kind of like the sniper situation, to where they're just getting hosed, and you're supposed to grab TIE fighters that are flying around inside the facility again.
And then throw.
So you're in this facility, and like they take down a bridge, right? So it's a TIE
Yeah.
bomber and 2 just basic TIE fighters, and they are going at such an incredibly slow pace that if this was real life, those things would just fall because they're not going fast enough to fly. But whatever, that's not how. I mean, these ships defy aerodynamics. It's fine. But they're going so slow, they kill the bridge because, oh no, can't make it now because they knew you're going to cross that bridge apparently. So you're taking TIE fighters to throw at these gunships to stop them from shooting at the rebellion, and they're going to help you get back over there. But I'm sitting here, I'm like, why? Why do we have this? I get it. You think it's really cool when I grab a TIE fighter. You've made that abundantly clear this entire fucking game. It's cool once or twice. I don't need to do it every time just so you can change up the combat a little bit. It's insane. Oh, speaking of combat, I was pulling up the Wii version to get the clips that you're talking about, Christian. Like, okay, I'm going to find the clips of the whole Darth Vader one. Let's see through there. Because, like I said, I played the Wii version, but it's been so long. I forgot how much better the combat was as far as, like, the different moves you can do. All that kind of stuff. You get, like, a combo counter that gives you, like, ratings and stuff like that, too. And I'm like, I forgot all this was in here. All of it.
It
Totally
is.
forgot. It's above and beyond a much better game with like whole combat system that they have in there. Like it's like I sat there, I'm like, you know what? If I were ever to play this game again, which I don't think I ever will, but if I were to do it, I think the Switch version has the Wii version on it. So I would probably just rather do that.
If that's true, that is
think
the
that's true.
yeah. Then that's the definitive way to play that game is
Yeah,
buy the
for
Wii
sure.
on the Switch.
If that's the
and be
Wii
done.
version, yeah, for sure. But either way, you do your whole thing of not really helping, but helping each other, and then you get to a certain section where you end up having the platforming. And I'm not skipping anything, am I?
No, really
to-
quick. I want to say in
Yeah.
the beginning here, I think it's hilarious. So Starkiller notices right when he gets in that all these platforms he's jumping on in the tubes are him. So one, I was correct. They all
know.
look like weird naked baby
I
versions
I
of
knew you were
Starkiller.
Not
correct.
naked.
I knew you were correct based on last week when you were talking and Preston was going.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah.
I
no,
know.
was trying
I
to
figured
be
I was right too,
regardless.
but I just was.
So-
but when I saw it, I literally was like, "Wow!" But then here's the thing: the funniest thing I find is just the writing being so shitty all the way up until the end. Is Starkiller is dead looking at all of these people that look like him, that are clearly clones of him, and says, "Coda, I was right. They've figured out how to clone Jedi. I am a clone
Yeah,
of
I
the
remember.
original
There's a
Starkiller.
quote that happens too.
I'm looking at 700 of me." Coda goes, "It's not possible.
They can't clone Jedi.
They can't clone
They can't,
Jedi."
is it possible?
clone- can't do it.
I'm
and he
telling
goes,
you
"Just
right
wait.
now.
Don't move, and I'll be there in a little while." No,
to
no,
be
no, no.
fair, he's blind, so maybe he just thinks that no one
Someone
can see.
straight telling him.
Yeah, fuck that. No, he's telling you. I'm looking at myself in a fucking mirror. Like,
Yeah.
and
Maybe it's one of those things where Coda's like, you just gotta see it to believe it, I guess.
yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Also, you clone people with clothes on?
yeah.
I get they don't want to show naked Star Killer. Maybe Ken doll him up if you want to, or like something, but like they.
Oh, was that the most egregious?
Or just
that was
have
the
him
most
like
egregious
the-
thing to you.
He has full on fucking like outfits and
Just have him
lightsabers
fetal
in the
position or
clone
something.
vats.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah, he does.
the most egregious thing to me was some of those clones that you will inevitably fight coming up come out with lightsabers.
No, that's what I
There's
just
two
said.
white
Yeah,
lights-
yeah, they have 2 lightsabers in the cloning tanks. Yeah.
Why? Why?
So you're doing
What?
this. You're doing this platforming to get up there. The little ninjas are popping up out of nowhere. The guys who like they go invisible and they're fucking with you while you're platforming. So that's a lot of fun.
I
to
didn't
get.
fight a single one of them, by the way. I just kept
Nope,
running.
you just keep
I
going.
just jumped.
Just keep going.
Yep.
You don't
I
have to
didn't
fuck with
a
them.
single one of them.
You don't have to fuck with them.
Nope.
Just keep going. I fucked with a couple of them, but you're getting up, and you finally get to the point to where you're not allowed
And
to
you
run
will fall
anymore.
down multiple times, by the way.
No, you fall down multiple times because guess what? It's not perfect platforming, and they want you to jump on robots to jump on these other parts, but sometimes your
hit
double jump doesn't work.
my
Sometimes your dash doesn't
ankles.
work proper.
my ankles hit invisible walls, and that double jump did not work so many
No.
times. That's why I
Yeah.
quit. That's why I was like, I gotta come back later. Like I can't.
So
I'm
frustrated
getting
with it, yeah.
pissed doing this.
Yep. So you're getting all through there, and then you finally get to this hallway. So this is where I want to think that this was done a lot better, and my version of it just was cutting out a whole bunch of stuff. But you guys tell me if you guys saw it too. But you're in this hallway, you can't run, you can't attack, you can't do anything, and you're doing this whole mental thing to where like essentially Darth Vader is fucking with your mind at this point, and you got Coda fucking talking shit on you, Juno talking shit on you. Everyone's talking shit to you, Vader talking shit on you, and you're crumbling things around you as you're walking through, but you can't interact with anything. And Vader will show up out of nowhere, just poof, and you're like, I'll kill you. Because he's got to fucking do the Anakin voice fucking 5 times during this fucking battle.
Yep.
And I'm like, why is that so choppy? That is just chopped to fuck. Like, this is like a complete afterthought, and like, how do we do this and get away with it? Like, well, he's messing with his mind. So Vader will just show up out of nowhere, you block it, you kind of push him out of the way, he disappears. And you're walking through this entire corridor, the most fucking boring part of the entire fucking game. And it's done piss poorly. Like, it should have been done as a cutscene, maybe. Like, just give me that or anything like that. It just fucking was horrible. And it was just like,
That final
you want to get
fight
through that
is
game as fast as
so
possible.
long.
And then you finally get to the point to where you're going after Vader, and you're on these platforming sections again. I don't think I skipped anything. Let me know if I did.
Nope. And can I just, dude? So this fight, I knew it was going to be bad. I was like, there's no reason to assume it would be good because every other fight in this game has been bad, so why wouldn't this one have been bad? I think that there has never been a way to make Darth Vader more lame than he's ever been here. Like, and I don't. And again,
Oh
I
my
think,
god!
like, I think that there's so many times that people fuck up Darth Vader, right?
Sure.
Like the easiest thing to come to mind is obviously with Rogue One, they nail him perfectly. Like, it is a thing. Like like
Chef's kiss.
he should be a horror scene, right? Like it is the same. Like when he shows up,
People who aren't Jedi should be fucking afraid.
the only good part of Kenobi was when Vader showed up and was doing things. You're sitting there and you're like, this is exactly what would happen. A ship tries to take off and he's.
I say that's what he does so well in the first, not Jedi Survivor, but the other one, right? Like,
Yeah.
You don't
This
fight
was-
Darth Vader in that first game.
Oh,
you
yeah.
run from Darth Vader as a Jedi that entire time. That is the end.
Because it would be stupid of you to do it. Like
I'm gonna bleep that out because Jake's actually playing that for the first time. So I'm gonna keep that. spoiler
that's
out of
fine.
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
but so like for Kenobi, right? Like in Kenobi, there's like they all try to take off in the ship, and he's like, "What?" And it's like, bomb, pulls the ship down, rips the fucking front off, and you're like, "This is what, like that is what it should be, right? 100%.
Yes.
That's what it
Yeah,
should be."
1,000.
And so, but in this one, it's him basically making. He looks at you and he's like, he tries to convince you like one more time, like, "Dog, come join me and don't worry about fucking stupid ass Juno," and you're like, "That is my goddamn wife." Okay, so don't you dare do anything to her or I'll kill you. And he's like, whatever, picks her up and throws her out a fucking window. and sends her literally, and I'm talking like probably a quarter mile, like sends her flying.
No
And-
humans do not survive this.
And she and that'll come into play later.
No.
She lands down on the ground and is like, the camera is very clearly like
On the face,
dead. Yes,
eyes wide
like
open
that
and
is
shit.
yes.
Like, the only thing you make it even more obvious is having a tongue out or like the X's on the eyes.
Yes,
It's the only way you can
exactly.
make it any more obvious that she would be dead.
So then that happens. You go to fight him, and you spend the first whole phase of this godforsaken fight of only being able to do what amounts to chip damage to Vader this
Yes,
entire time,
100%.
because he has to. He'll be on a platform and he'll be away from you, and then he'll send a bunch of clones after you, and you then run. And basically, at the same time, while you're coming up to him, he'll be throwing canisters at you of
Yeah,
clones.
the clones, the empty clone canisters. Yeah,
And he'll be throwing them at you, and you can catch them and then throw them back at him, and then you do a
Little
little bit of
chippy chip,
damage,
yeah.
and it stuns him, and then you can get this one particular. You basically are baiting him into a point where he'll go to attack you, you block it, you guys struggle back and forth a little bit, and he basically just tells you, "You suck. I should have never fucking made you. You're
they
a loser."
repeat those like scenes like multiple times.
Over
Like, the
and
whole
over,
the
yes.
whole like I'm gonna kill you, like that whole scene, like the back and forth, those two dialogue lines get repeated 2 to 3 times in this battle.
Every single time, and it's
Yeah.
Starkiller really just says, "I'm gonna kill you" over and over and
just
over
screams
again.
it. Anakin
And
style.
you're going through back and forth, and it's so funny because Darth Vader will pick up these things. Darth Vader, by the way, the strongest Force user in the history
You
of
need to have
forever,
a clone army
right?
of Jedi to fight you.
Like,
yeah.
but what I'm saying is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think even like Luke is with him all trained up is still not as good as Darth Vader was with the Force, right? Like no one has ever been as good as Anakin.
Not especially the dark side. Yeah, a dark
other
side
than
Anakin, yeah.
Starkiller, who was supposed to be so powerful, is just Darth Vader, right?
Yeah, but he's not. But he's not canon anymore, right? So I'm saying, in canon,
Current canon, sure, but back then
No
this
one-
used to be canon, and it was supposed to be this is the one person who would be more powerful than Darth Vader.
Got it. Okay. So even to that degree, though, the hilarious part is that he goes to throw a canister at you, a canister that he easily picked up and threw at you, and so then you pick it up, stop it, and then throw it back. And apparently, Darth Vader goes, "I don't know how to catch."
No, so he will catch it and throw it back at you, unless he is trying to pick up a different canister. So if
I just
you're-
never had that happen.
So
then.
if you throw it at him before he grabs another canister, he will grab that one back and throw it back at you. You will play this back and forth tennis match until he grabs another canister, or until he stops.
It's the Link Ganon Phantom Ganon
Yep.
fight from the
Yep.
Forest Temple in Ocarina of Time. You just hit the lightning ball back
That's
and
all
forth.
you do.
Cool. It's okay. So I didn't see that happen.
So
I
it
just
takes
thought
longer
was
for
really
some
funny.
people. So luckily you
So
got
for
those
me-
in
okay, so
edge time.
even then though, are we gonna sit here and pretend like Darth Vader can't use one hand to catch something and the other hand to pull something up?
He doesn't even need a hand.
Sure. So then that's my point, right? Like
Yeah.
this. So it's just like, so you do this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then I gotta ask where. So, because Preston, I know how much you love Star Wars. Were you just mad during this whole
so
fucking fight?
pissed. So like, there's certain parts where you're fighting him, right? So like, you're taking out he's got clones of you there that aren't finished. So they come
Yeah.
out. I guarantee you, Whitwer was
Gangly
not
as fuck. They're like,
Whitwer was not. I really hope he did not have to do the voices for those guys because they're like "Meh," doing like that kind of shit. Like you hear them do it. You hear them like as they're coming at you and shit. And it's like no,
They're trying
why?
to yell. They're screaming and pain.
Yeah,
with all their-
I would like to nominate this for another clip of the show that gets cut up and tossed on either an Instagram reel or a YouTube
Or an
short.
intro. I'll start saving these.
I would love to see, like, it would have been funnier is if they just came out like clearly half baked, right? Like they haven't had full time in the oven.
Half baked
and
is
they're
a
just, like,
great way to
they're-
say it.
That's a nice way
They're
to
just
say it.
coming out like in complete terror. Like some of them take their lightsaber and just stab themselves, and others just like
And
walk
they're like,
off the edge. Like
go
Just
walk
like
like this and
a
shit.
droopy brownie out of an easy bake oven.
Dude, I went to some like the concept art and stuff like that. Like it's a data bank to where it shows you like the models of everything. Like here's a description of what's called and what they are. And one of them is like the clones, and they show like the 3 of them that you get, or 2 or 3 of them that you get. and it's like a close-up version of all of them, and they're bad. It's
Oof.
bad. But yeah, you're okay. So first off, Vader doesn't need those guys. Vader can take you on himself. He doesn't need anyone to help him out. If anything, like they would be hindering as far as getting in his way. Which, guess what? He's thrown a couple of those guys at me, which I thought that was the only cool part about this entire battle is when he takes one of his clones and throws them at you. I'm like, shit, that's some vicious ass fucking shit right there. But yeah.
Were you also
not if you have
depressed?
700 clones. Who cares?
But it's really cool that he's throwing
100 of
bodies
them.
at you. That's kind of some like really crazy
Were
ass
both
shit.
of you depressed when you saw the second life bar under his current one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I knew it was
I
gonna
was
happen.
too.
I knew it was gonna
No.
happen. Yeah, but yellow. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because all the other fights had that, and I had the same thought that I've had the whole time. I went,
This is gonna suck.
this is going to be way too long.
This is gonna suck.
Yeah.
This is going to be too
So,
long.
so the
Why?
one thing that really broke the back of like my disappointment was I'm fighting him. I get all these guys out of the way. It's just me and him, right? So I'm sitting there, nom, 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 just fucking hacking, slashing him. He's blocking everything, dodging everything. And I'm like, okay, what does he have for me? I just wait. Kind of does nothing. Kind of does nothing. Winds up for the swing. I'm like, okay, well, fuck you. Nom, 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 nom. And then you either like stop him or you break the move and he starts blocking again. And it's like, this is the worst lightsaber battle I probably had more fun fighting Jarek in Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. That was more of a lightsaber battle than it was fighting Darth Vader in this game made probably 10 years later.
The whole thing, when I walked in that room, I was irritated because they're like, hey, A, look how much health he has, and B, look how long it's taken to get there. And then wouldn't you love to fight him, but continue to platform while you do it? And it's like, no.
And anytime you get close to him and get a little damage off him,
And
he floats away.
Also, think about this. I want, like, this game, I almost wonder if this was the first level of a different game. Like, if you think about it, you escape prison to break back into prison, leaving one person you're fighting to come back and fight the same dude. If you took out all the middle and put this together, it's a great first level before you leave Kamino and go on an entirely new adventure as Clone Star Killer.
Remember that Indiana Jones game I said was canceled because of this game? Maybe that was it. Maybe Indiana
You know
Jones
what?
broke out of jail and was
Maybe.
going back to jail. Who knows?
Maybe.
Either
It's just,
way, yeah,
you
it's
you
garbage.
literally break out. You go do 2 side quests on different places, and you come right back. Like, it's full circle.
Yeah.
It's literally full circle
Oh, yeah.
the whole time. You could have taken this game from the 5 hours that it was and made it an hour if you just started the fight, moved to a different area of Kamino, finished the fight, and that's your game.
And the rest of the game could have been what happened at the very end, and you could have had 5 more hours of whatever you do at the end because, yeah, open.
Let's talk about that end.
Well, let's get through the last second half of this Vader fight scene. So
Yeah.
this is when you find her. He's like, oh, they get up to like the top, and he's like, she's right behind me this whole time. Like, very convenient that this fight went all the way to where Juno is, and she's right behind you. I assume I totally forgot about the story, but like I assume like there's no way it's her. It's like, how do you know that's her? You've seen robots impersonate her before. It's like, how do you fucking know?
I just know, man.
He just knows. He feels it's the Force, right? Yeah, it's love. So fucking
My
Vader,
midichlorians are whispering in my
Vader's
ear.
like, you will bow to me, you will do what I want you to fucking do, or I'll kill her. Says something else, or I'll kill her. Says something else, or I will kill her. Just fucking brings it home just to let you know that you will forever be his slave unless he's got to kill her. And that's how he has control over you. And so, like, what happens in the end is she fucking grabs one of your lightsabers, and he's like, well, fuck you, bitch, and just fucking yeets her in through the fucking window, and that's when you have that one section to where she falls down on the ground. You're like, this bitch is toast. So, like, you then go outside to this other area where you are completely unleashed. You have full Force Unleashed power is going off the entire time, and you're surrounded by electricity. And you're fighting Vader tete-a-tete during this time, which is another horrible fucking fight, because not only do you have full powers, but Vader can still block all that kind of shit. So you're fighting, and then you kind of knock him around a little bit, and you finally get some kicks in, and you push him up against this fucking lightning tower, mashing a button just to go ka with your new fucking Force powers. And it's just the most boring, mundane, like, doesn't do the Vader name justice at all, and just makes it the worst boss battle of all time.
He gets completely punked, and you're just like, dude, this would never happen to him. With
No.
this, like,
But if it were to happen,
even
it would be a lot cooler than this.
yeah, that also. But it's so ridiculous. Yeah, he gets completely punked.
Yeah.
And it's just you're just sitting like, this is stupid.
You're muted, Alex.
You're muted.
Thank you. But also, pre-Legends canon, like
Yeah,
at the
this was
time when this
canon.
was actually like this is canon, we know how Darth Vader eventually dies and gets beat. We've known since the 70s. How can this happen anyway?
We know he's not going to die.
We know he's not going to die. You're
So
not really going
canon.
to defeat him.
Well,
Yeah.
you want to talk about the ending? What? So you finally fight him.
I had to look up. I had to look up the release date of something else
Yeah.
to go. Oh, that's why this has to be Legends, because that doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah. So what was the? Let's just go around really quick before we say what happens. What did you guys pick as your ending choice?
Light, because that was the technical canon ending.
And you guys, okay. So I did dark first.
Okay, nice, good.
So let me explain this. So I want to go through my journey here really quick, and then we
Sure.
can go through it because I got so infuriated.
Sure.
So I chose dark side. So as soon as you do that, by the way, the dark side ending is probably like 4 minutes and some change shorter than the light side ending. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So
Afterthought again.
you press the dark side button, and because at this moment, Vader is down on his knees after you throw the lightning tower at him and all this other shit, and Coda comes out of nowhere and is like, "Bro, don't kill him. Do not kill him. He has to stand trial. We have to take him to jail, and then when we take him to jail, then we can kill him." But
Vader does nothing.
he-
He's
he
conscious,
has-
does nothing.
yeah,
Bro, don't kill him. He has 3 more movies to be in.
Right? Yeah.
right.
You can't kill him because he's got to survive.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so don't kill him. Just let's take him to jail. Let's let him stand trial, and then we'll kill him. We'll chop his head off for everybody to see. It'll be super sick, blah blah blah. And Starkiller is like, "Oh, he just makes me so mad." And then like he's sitting there, and so if you press the dark side button, he just takes his lightsaber and he's like, "I'm sorry, Coda," and then goes to stab him. But who could have seen this coming? But a pale, angrier version of Starkiller stabs you from behind, and Darth Vader stands up and goes, "I lied about the cloning process not being perfected." And then he takes you out. He has killed everybody else that was on the platform. He smokes everybody. And then Darth Vader is like, "You did really well. Go ahead and take his ship. Go find the rest of the rebels and kill them all." And he goes, "Yes, my master." He walks away. He sees Juno on the ground. He looks over at her for a second. And he goes, "Meh." Puts his hood up, and he's out the door. Now,
And then it goes, Force Unleashed 3 coming 2012.
Yeah.
yeah. So here's the thing. This ending, I think, completely invalidates the light side ending and makes it make it no sense whatsoever, because the dark side ending is implying that evil Starkiller was either on his way to stop Vader from getting beat up, or was there the whole time and was just waiting for his moment to strike, right? I think
Well,
we
that's
all can
clearly
be
what
in agreement
that's
there.
clearly what he was doing. That's like most bad guys in hero flicks, right?
Yeah,
They just
yeah.
sit up there in the rafters and watch you
Waiting
get
for the
absolutely
moment.
annihilated, and say, "Oh, that guy that made me might die, but it's fine. I'll continue to stand up here," as he
Yeah.
just mows everyone down.
Yeah. So he's clearly there's no way he would have gotten. I also think it's hilarious that Starkiller and Coda, for that matter, are all so force sensitive that they can sense the comings and goings of people, but couldn't fucking figure out that evil Starkiller was standing right
The
behind him the whole
dark
fucking
side
time.
clouds the vision. We know this from the
No.
prequels, Christian.
Okay, so
Go
then
to
what was
his
Coda's
Emperor.
excuse for not seeing him?
Blind.
Also, fucking force.
No, I know.
Also, to Christian's point, he chose the dark side to get this ending.
Yeah.
So the dark side shouldn't cloud his vision because he's using the dark side of the Force in this.
Dark
Yeah,
side
so
can clone dark
it
side.
should have been like game recognized game. Like you should have been able to
Yeah.
sense it
No.
immediately. Yeah. So the light side ending happens, and Starkiller goes, "All right, Coda, you
Lock
win.
him up.
Lock him up, boys."
some
So they lock
justice.
him up. They take him on. Vader does not fight at all.
Yo, I love how he's like, because we need the Emperor's secret. It's like, you think this motherfucker's gonna spill the beans?
I know.
Like,
Yeah.
what in your
he's like,
fucking
we'll torture him
goddamn
and he'll tell us.
Horrible
And it's
mind.
like,
He's gonna fucking spill the beans. Okay,
You're going to lock him up against a chair to interrogate him, and he is going to mind control half the room to kill themselves, and the remaining people to come unlock you and escort
He
you
was
out of the building.
almost
Like,
burned
it's just-
alive by volcano. Like it's like the motherfucker's been through shit. Like what are you gonna
But
do to him? He's never
I
had
just
done
think
to
it's so
himself
funny.
already.
That a regular soldier puts the cuffs on Darth Vader, and I'm just like, this dude would have been crushed into a ball. Like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Yes.
Either way, so they cuff him up, they move him on the chair, or the ship. Evil Starkiller, nowhere to be found.
No, he doesn't exist.
And so then Starkiller runs over to Juno, and the robot looks at you and is like, I'm sorry, I did everything I could, I cannot revive her, she's dead. And Starkiller goes, it's okay, it's my fault. I should have been here, like I should have never left or something like
yeah,
that.
he should have never left. Yeah.
Which is hilarious considering you're a clone, you've been awake for 13 days, and you know fuck all about this woman or anything else like this.
She wasn't here
So,
previously.
but-
Also.
Yeah, and she wasn't here previously
Yeah, she
also,
wasn't
which
here
is
to
a
begin
better
with, yeah.
point. And so he touches his forehead to her head, and she just magically just goes, "Duh, I'm awake." And not only does she go, I'm awake, but then looks at him and goes,
Makes out.
it's
session.
fucking time to make out. I knew my husband was alive. And you're like, what? Like, you don't know this person.
died.
And you know that he's a clone.
Yeah.
But what, okay, so cool. Again, evil Starkiller, nowhere to be found.
Doesn't
Is
exist
just like,
inside.
yeah, just doesn't fucking, he's apparently,
he was a dead failsafe. Is all he was.
yeah, clearly. So then,
Button wasn't pressed.
yeah, Vader didn't get to press
Yeah.
the button. Yeah,
Yeah.
so he didn't show up. Yeah,
Exactly.
So they do this. Then it cuts to this just the most dumb fucking monologue between Starkiller and Vader, where Starkiller's like, "Just so you know, I won because I let you live. Because you're here in jail, and because I didn't kill you means that I'm the winner and you're the loser.
My
You
shackles
suck."
are gone.
You have no control over me. Blah, 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 blah.
No shackles, new me. Watch
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
strut.
Which Vader correctly says, by the way, looks at him and goes, as long as that girl's alive and I am breathing,
I'm winning.
I have control over you.
Yeah.
Because it will take me no time to get out of here and capture her and do this
Probably
all over
crush
again.
the ship right now with my mind, with all you.
Yeah,
in.
I don't know
And
why
I
I'm
have
not
this
doing
suit.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could fucking space everybody right now, but I don't know why I'm not doing it. But just know that if I decide to do that and she survives and I can capture her, we're right back at square one where you
Yeah.
can't do dick. So like
Spider-Man,
we'll do this
Mary
over
Jane
again.
issue. Like, yeah, if everyone knows he's Spider-Man, Mary Jane thing, like they're gonna go after Mary Jane every
and
time.
so then he does that again. They go back and forth. He walks away, and then Boba Fett's ship, the person that we've still never
Did you love
seen,
that? Is the Stinger?
is heading towards the space station. You're just like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's like, hey, remember that cool guy we showed for like a cutscene for once, and you kind of got like small snippets of him like carrying Juno away. He was there the entire time. He was just hanging out, waiting for you to leave, and then he was gonna follow you because I guess the person who has the bounty on your head you now have, so he needs to come after you. But that's not how bounty hunting works, because if the person who has the bounty on you or issuing the bounty on you is captured or defeated, like, no more job for you, right?
I know,
That's the whole
like,
point of it. You're gonna
it's
rescue
hilarious
Vader?
that they would
Take
assume
money?
that Boba Fett, it was like, there was an extra clause in his contract. It was like, by the way, if I get captured, come rescue me.
Yeah.
Which is like ridiculous that Vader would even need rescuing in the first place.
No,
Like,
he
it's
wouldn't.
all so
he
dumb.
wouldn't. You don't capture Vader. You take Vader down, or you.
I just love the
incapacitate him.
idea that Evil
Also-
Starkiller saw Vader go to jail and was like, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's cool with it.
Didn't we decide this takes place between 3 and 4?
Yes.
Doesn't he meet Boba Fett for the first time
No.
in
Because he tells him no
4?
disintegration ray. So he's met him before. They've done jobs together. He's done jobs for the Empire before.
Okay.
No disintegrations. Because they.
So that's where. So you could have even had a really cool reference to where that line came from for
by
really
him
hardcore
disintegrating
fans,
somebody.
like,
Yeah, but no, he doesn't
no,
fight
no.
at all. The cool ass bounty hunter with like a whole bunch of guns and like rocket launcher on his back and a jetpack. You never see it happen. Because you want to know why? Because he'd get in that jetpack, and what would you do? You do the same thing you did to everybody else with the jetpack. You use force sliding for 1 second, and he goes, oh, like he did in fucking Return of the Jedi.
God, you know what would be so fucking funny though is seeing that like I would love a character like something as storied as Boba Fett, and Star Killer just looks at him and goes, "I don't know who you are," and then just like
Christian.
walks off.
May I tell you about a movie called Return of the Jedi, to where a blind Han Solo accidentally hits him with a stick on his jetpack, and he runs into a fucking falls into a Sarlacc pit.
I forgot that happened.
Yeah,
but
he goes out like a bitch,
Yeah.
just like Mace Windu and everybody else who's really cool in fucking Star Wars.
No,
They go
he
out
does
like
not. Because
Well,
he
it's now
crawls
canon to
out
where-
and pokes hand through
Yeah.
the sand of that Sarlacc
Yeah.
pit. Because everybody want to know, how did he survive the Sarlacc pit? And the answer is
Crawled
he
out. He put some fire in there and he crawled out.
He could crawl out through the sand.
Unlike everybody else who's been in there, couldn't crawl out. Yeah,
Just crawl it out.
Sure. I like
Man.
I like the other idea. Like I think that I don't know if it's the comics or like in the book, but like someone made it to where he got out, but what happened was is like he somehow fixed his jetpack and fucking rocketed the shit out of there with his like flamethrower, like destroying the Sarlacc while it's in there. And I thought that was a lot cooler of him like flying out.
Imagine, like, think about this dude. This dude was as BFF as somebody could be with Vader, who I assume didn't have many friends. Like
Wasn't BFF.
Vader was probably his best friend, but he
Contract
definitely
worker.
wasn't Vader's
No,
best
he's a
friend,
contract
right?
worker. He's a contractor.
No,
He's
but
a fire.
sure, but Vader doesn't have any other friends, so two jobs.
He doesn't
probably
have
makes
any
him by
friends,
default
period.
friend.
That's the whole point of
Here's
Vader.
what I'm saying.
He can't
Here's what
have
I'm saying.
friends.
Think about how
He's
far
Sith.
this character arc goes. Boba Fett went from
Boba
doing
Fett.
jobs and doing work, with Vader, right? Capturing
Empire,
people.
Yeah.
Yep. All the way to running a gang with a bunch of kids on Vespas.
Yeah.
Pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
pretty cool.
I don't want to talk
Pretty.
about that show.
What
I
a
don't wanna talk about
character
that
arc.
show.
What a character
I
arc.
want-
So good.
I just-
Preston's like, please, I'm taking damage right now.
I have selective memory of what happens on that show.
Yeah.
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 Selective memory.
Vespa scooters. Using 3 colors, not red. There was a green one. I think blue and a yellow. Like, everything was there.
Yeah, sure was.
Techno kids with iPods.
Sure fucking was.
Oh.
But yeah, that's the thing at the very end of this is, okay, they're going off with fucking Darth Vader. He's arrested, and we're going to take him to whatever. Don't worry about the rebellion being behind them or anything like that. It's just going to be Star Killer taking him to God knows where to get him. Because the Emperor's not going to hunt him down. Also, where the fuck is the Emperor this entire fucking game? Just doesn't show up.
Who knows?
Doesn't care about what's going on.
Probably buy and land on Exegol.
Yeah.
You know what? He's probably upset because he told Vader to stop this in the last game, and Vader decided that he wasn't going to stop it. So the Emperor was like, you know what? Fine.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? This is your problem. You fix
Yeah.
it. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and have my nice vacation. This is your problem. I'm going home.
Yeah.
I already did this with you. I already did this with you.
I already
This
told
is
you
your
no.
thing. I told you
You
no.
couldn't be cloning
you bought
people.
You bought the puppy again. I don't want to have to deal with this shit. I'm gone.
I said,
what
stop
I
making
said.
clones of the
Yeah.
puppy, and you said, no, I'm going to make 700 of them.
That puppy's gonna bite you.
And now look, now he bit you.
Now I bit you. And now you can deal with
Yeah.
that. Pop's not gonna be here to grab them tears.
So, among the end of the game, what would you rate it on a scale?
So
3.
it depends on out of what. So if we're doing 5, I mean a 5 or 10.
Whatever you want. Last
So-
time I think one of us did like out of a 10. One of us did like a play don't play sort of thing.
Yeah, so
whatever
here's
you
what
wanna
we're going to do, because I've been doing this for all the games I've been playing for the Star Wars Wednesdays. So I've been going to GG. I've been actually putting in actual, like, hands-down text reviews for those 2 games. And I've been giving them ratings, and I've been giving ratings to all the games I'm playing nowadays anyways. I'm trying to do the whole same thing I do with comics. As soon as I get done reading or playing one, I'll fucking put the rating up there. But I would say out of the 5 that they give you, give this a 1.5, maybe a 2 for the nice cutscenes.
Out of 10, I would give it a 3. 1 for each unique location you visit in the game.
That's not even, that's me. I'm
It's
literally,
not unique,
so
though. Camino.
for
It was in
10,
the last
I
game.
would do 3. For if it was out of 5, like what Preston was saying, which I'm fine with doing out of 5, that's what you want to do.
You do
It gets a 1, and the only reason it gets a 1 is because it is technically playable from beginning to end. So it is a video game that you can finish.
Almost. Preston almost broke
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
yeah. I want to
true.
mention this. So in that one main stage where you're helping, not helping the rebellion, everyone, I had a part to where you're fighting a bunch of people, and there's a blue door that's covered by a shield. You gotta kill all the guys, right? Door will unlock as soon as you kill all the guys. One of the jetpack troopers felt like getting stuck in a wall, and I couldn't Force Saber throw. I couldn't lightning from outside, so I had to jump towards the wall and hope my hand went through the wall and clipped through in the same section that jetpack trooper was, so I could kill him. Luckily, he was a jetpack trooper. My lightning could find him.
In fairness, that's considered a soft lock, right? So it's a bug that happens. But if you were to reload a checkpoint, you would have probably been able to be fine.
Yeah, sure.
So it is technically playable from end to end. And that means it gets 1 star. That's it. I cannot give it anything. It was the most boring, unbelievably just like
and disappointing
stupid,
knowing what the first one is and how much you liked it.
Yes. And every single time that it was like, hey, you remember that scene in the first one where you got to take down a Star Destroyer using the Force? That was really cool, right? What if we put a bunch of sections in this game that are supposed to emulate that, but are way less cool and not as fun to do?
We spent less time on it, yeah.
And you're like, I don't think I want that. And it's like, okay, well, we put it in the game, so here.
But you liked it, so here you go. Nom nom, meet him up.
Yeah. It's so bad.
It's a bad game.
It was bad.
I'm glad that we do get a bad game in.
I would say 3.
Yeah, I'm glad we do get a bad game in. I'm glad it's this short of a game that's a bad game that we get it in. I'm sorry. I did not mean for this to happen. I did not think of this being a bad game. I wanted to bring a good game, a game we'd have fun with.
It's the point of the book club, right? Does the game hold up?
Not everything's going to be a banger.
Fucking game does not.
I would have to say on a scale of 5, I would agree with a 1 because it's been a long time that I've played a game where I went to turn it on and didn't want to. Like, I debated with myself. I was like, I could probably just watch a YouTube video of this.
Just say
like, it was that bad.
Yeah.
It was that bad. And it was only 45 minutes worth of play every
I'll tell you this.
Like, it wasn't even that much. And it was still like, I could just...
Is that frustrating?
The last game that I quit that it was Biomutant, right? Like, I was just like, I'm just not having fun. It's boring and I want to move on. I would rather lock myself in a room and play Biomutant for 120 hours than play this game again.
It's a bad game. It's a very bad game.
I was it's and what's extra infuriating is like what we said last week is when you go back and look at the Wii version, you're like, this is such a better game. Like,
I'm sure the story is still just as horrible. Yeah.
But in fairness, there's extra context that in between the levels, not for the cutscenes, but in between the levels, that at least certain things happen that you're like, okay, this at least makes a little bit of sense. Like, again, the example I used last week of Vader chasing you through Kamino. It's like, of course he would be chasing you, because why would he not be chasing you? Why would he just give up immediately? But so in this final section of the Wii version, you hang out with Coda the whole time. Like, you're fighting with him. It's like a whole 2-player section, blah, blah, blah. Like, dude, it's so bad. It is like, man. And I will say, I'm pretty, like, I would say that I'm the most casual of casual fans of Star Wars. Like, I'm like, pod racing goes burr, and that's really where I'm at. Like, and so, but I cannot imagine, Preston is somebody that I know that you love
and I will look past a lot. I will look past a lot.
Yes, you will.
I like Star Wars a lot, but whenever Star Wars comes up to you, you turn into Good Guy Preston.
Real hard.
Good Guy Preston is a whole nother level.
Yeah. And I say,
for you to say it sucks.
Fuck this game.
Yeah.
I'm upset that I paid for the collector's edition back then. Now, like I'm still.
That's fair.
I'm now upset about that.
I didn't think about it, but now that you said that, I'm kind of upset I haven't paid $6 for it. I should have just downloaded the ROM and emulated it.
I guarantee
for free.
I turned that shit into GameStop so fucking fast. I guarantee I did that. Like, thinking back, I'm like, I guarantee I turned that thing in. I played it. I maybe played it twice, and I went, I'm not gonna play this game again, and I can probably get a decent credit on it now. And I'm a broke ass like fucking teenager. Like, so yeah, let's go ahead and just give this out.
You just throw it through the door at the GameStop. And you're
here's
like,
my steelbook.
All right. Well, next week, are we starting in next week? Or are we taking a break for something else before we come back?
We can do it next week, unless you guys have a side quest you think you might want to do.
No, we're starting it. Yeah,
we're starting it.
Okay.
I already have the stopping
Christian,
point loaded up and everything.
All right. So you wanna say what we're doing?
Yeah. So it is my game. That I chose, and it is we are playing Metro 2020 or 2033 Redux. So the remaster / like sort of remake.
A spoopy game.
Yeah, so I have wanted to play through the Metro series for a really long time. I've only ever played the first game. Fun fact, this first game was one of the first games that I ever discovered when I got when I built my first PC, like when I had enough money, like when I got like my freshman year in college. Like I got a computer, did a thing, went on Steam, and I saw the reviews for this Metro game, and I was like, this looks like nothing I've ever played before. This looks cool, blah, blah, blah. And it can run on my new computer. Like, I was like, let's do it. And I was instantly head over heels. I loved it, blah, blah, blah. So, but I've never had a chance to play this remake, so this will be my first time going through that. But also, I have not ever gotten a chance to play the second or third games, and so that'll be the start of doing that. So, if you want to play along for Metro 2033, we will be playing all the way up until the start of Chapter 3. So, Chapter 3, there will be a part. It starts with a mission called Dry. So we'll be playing Chapter 0, which is the prologue, Chapter 1, and all of Chapter 2. So as soon as you get to the mission in Chapter 3 called Dry, which is the start of Chapter 3, that's where you can stop.
I just have one question about this game, because I was sitting outside with the dog the other day, and Allie and I were sitting there, and I pulled it up on Steam, and I was watching the trailer. This looks like a horror game?
It's a spoopy game. I told you, it's spoopy. He's making us do a spoopy game.
It's not spoopy.
I think it might be one of those two where like there's horror elements, but I'm not sure it's jump scares. But again, I never played this game.
Correct.
We're about to fuck around and find out, Alex.
Yeah, I don't really want to say. I'll just let you guys experience. But no, it's not. It is not anything like.
It's not Dead Space.
No.
Or
not
Doom
even close.
3.
No. It is. If you wanted a close analog to it, I would say. Think of it closer to. You watched me play RE4 Remake. It's probably closer to that.
Would you say it's more like Resistance, to where it's like kind of?
I could see that too,
but it's
kinda.
not scary.
Yeah, like it's.
I did not play Resident Evil 4.
No, you watched me play the remake front to back.
I know, but I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, but even after we got to... Yeah, and you started playing Resident Evil 2 Remake because you watched me play Resident Evil 4 Remake.
For 10 minutes and refused to go into a room and haven't turned it on since.
Well, I mean, that's
we'll see how it goes.
But that's the game we're playing, and you're playing it, so...
Chris is like, if I have to play the Force on these fucking two, you're playing a scary game.
True.
I'll make you pay for that.
If you don't think... Yeah, you can sit there and go, let's play. My game that I suggest for next week is Final Fantasy X-2, to which we'll all say, no, that game's 400 hours long, we're not playing it.
I might say yes.
Yeah, I'm not playing it. I'll just watch a video, and you guys will never know the difference.
All right. Yeah.
Well,
we are good. Is this game not multiplayer? I thought this game was multiplayer.
If maybe later titles, I have no... But no, the first one is it's totally single-player story, and yeah, that's it.
All right. Find some bright daylight to play it. Cool. Well, that is that, and that is another episode of the Testing Room. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. I hope you had a chance to play through Star Wars with us. If you didn't, don't. But otherwise... Yeah, Preston, you know what to do.
Hit it!